facts to substantiate, to explain why it is that you believe in God. And I think you've probably just been born in it. I should have. You're a businesswoman. You know you knew. You were born into a religious system. You've just always believed. You've been told there is a God. Hey, look at the stars, look at the sky, look at the mountains, look at the earth. Who do you think created this? It must be God. And that's your reason why you believe in God. Have you ever considered the possibility that there could be another explanation for every reason why you think you believe in God? Hey, Basanta, greetings to you, my brother. Have you ever considered that all the reasons why you believe in God could be explained away? Because that's what I'm here to do today for you. I will show you how you don't really have a good reason to believe in God, especially as a mortal. But then I do understand, though, the emotional aspect of it. You see, that's what you religious people don't get. You think that we don't respect and understand the emotional motivation behind why many of you believe in God. I actually empathize, okay? I feel your pain, to be honest. There is an emotional aspect, or should I use the word emotional reality, that validates your religious beliefs. Nobody's arguing. No one is saying you can't do it for that reason. But beyond that, you must then know that there is in fact no God, right? It's kind of like a placebo effect to help you cope with the fact that life would literally almost be meaningless if you're a person who finds your meaning in beliefs. If there was no God, then you have to deal with the fact that you live one life and you die. If there was no God, then you have to deal with the fact that no one is going to punish the people you don't like. If there was no God, then you'll realize that you can't really justify all the evil stuff you've done, and it won't just go away just because you ask someone to forgive you. You have to take accountability and responsibility. If there was no God, then you'll realize that some things, some opportunities only come once. That you don't always get a second chance. And that's what I think the belief in God does to some people. It's a lot of people, actually, as a matter of fact. You believe in God as a way to give yourself a second chance, right? Perhaps you failed in this life. Perhaps you don't think you're going to be able to live up to the expectations of this life. So you just kind of write it out while praying and hoping that you would get another life. And hopefully the second time around, you have more resources. You're better positioned to make it through. Well, I got bad news for you. Not only is there no God, this is your only life. And I think, despite the emotional benefits of imagining a God in your head, of imagining a continuation to life, despite all the emotional benefits, there is a real, strong, powerful benefit to realizing that not only is there no God, but this life does not continue past this point. If you're the type of religious person who only knows how to spill religious rhetoric, for example, I see somebody in the comments saying, "Thank you for your opinion. Jesus is king." What do you benefit when you say Jesus is king? Like, what does that do in your head? I'm really curious. When you say Jesus is king, does that just make you ignore everything else? How many times do you need to say Jesus is king in order to believe it? How many times do you have to say Jesus is king in order to believe it? Do you really believe that Jesus is king? Are you sure you believe? It's not only why do you believe. The question is, how do you know you believe? If I was to ask you, how do you know that you believe? Do you think you believe in God because you say you believe in God? Do you think you believe in God because you feel like you believe in God? And despite the fact that you say and feel like you believe in God, do you in fact believe? What does it mean to believe? Randall, I hope you're not coming to troll me, bro.
Bakanga, Wakanda forever, bro. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm playing. I'm playing. Was that a bad joke? Hey, you good, man? Well, you all right, man? How you doing? All right, you wanna go on the topic? All right, cool, cool, cool. So, I'm a Christian myself, and obviously, you have questions. Why I believe in God? It's very simple. There's evidence to God's existence, so that's pretty much why I believe in him. And I totally don't believe that once I unalive from the world, I cease to exist. It doesn't make sense as it takes away the purpose of me even being here, really. So that's technically where I'm coming from.
Do you understand that sometimes a lie will make sense, but the truth will not?
Um, a lie would make sense, but the truth would not. Could you give me examples?
Okay, let's say a crime is committed and I'm the only one on the scene. There's even a murder weapon. I mean, it makes sense to assume that I'm the one who did it, right? Because the evidence will point to the fact that I am the one who committed the crime.
Okay,
But
but
upon
but
further investigation, there was somebody else on the scene, but somebody who had a strong alibi, apparently. So, will it make sense to think that it was a person who was on the scene the whole time, the person who's got the blood on their hands? Or will it make sense that someone carefully planned to take advantage of you as you were on the scene, committed a murder just in time to not leave any evidence behind? Except maybe for your DNA being on the murder weapon, right? Because think about it. Let's say you were not on the scene, but your DNA is on the murder weapon, and you've never come in touch with the murder weapon. I'm found on the scene. My DNA is also on the murder weapon, but I claim that I didn't do it. Does it make sense to believe me?
No, but you do know how crime scene works, right? So they must gather evidence. So there must be, reasonable evidence to point out to why they believe that you are the one that did this crime.
Have you never seen a crime committed and there was enough evidence to suspect more than one person?
There might be, there are cases like that. I can't remember
There you go.
one.
And that's all I wanted you to understand. Sometimes the
But
real
what's your
truth,
point?
no, no, sometimes the real truth will make less sense than the lie.
So wait. You believe when you're unalive, you cease to exist, correct?
I don't need to believe that. That's what we observe.
No, that's what we observe. How do you know that? Tell me. How do you know that?
We don't associate identity with anything other than a person's body, right? You, right now, you're talking to me. Within the physical interaction that you have in this world, that those are the pillars that represent who you are. In the absence of that, you're not there. Like, if you couldn't speak to me, if I couldn't see you, hear you, if I couldn't put you physically somewhere in this world at some point in time, you just wouldn't exist to human beings, right? It would almost be like you were never born. Now, let's say in a situation where you do have a physical representation like you are right now, and then you die, we bury you in the ground. That's it.
Okay, but you don't have evidence as to if that person still exists outside this realm. Because
The person cannot exist outside this realm because the person is their body. Like the body is
no,
what we
no.
call the person.
But then they might have transitioned to another dimension. You don't really think this world is just everything, right? Because
I mean,
the universe is like
if you think the grave is another
that's
dimension, then so be it.
so. Wait, you don't believe in another like other dimensions? You just a
No,
little guy in this little planet, my guy. Like you just make it
Regardless of what I am, it doesn't change the fact that from the moment before you were born, you didn't exist to anybody,
That's
right?
right,
Right.
because I wasn't created, I wasn't conceived yet. But once you get created, you live forever, bro. There is no, because what's the point, right? You got to think about why we are even created. What's the point? If you tell me I'm created, then once I pass on, I cease to exist, bro. If I'm struggling right now and I don't like my life, I should just end it, bro. Because what's the point, right?
You see,
That's not how you reason.
relax, relax. There's a
You know, I'm
point.
really,
There's a point there. You see, there is an emotional reality to why people believe in God. It's a type of dissociation from actual reality due to their incapability to face the real world, right? Kind of like a placebo effect, kind of like the same effect you give a child so they're not scared of the dark, right? The child is scared of the dark. And because of that fear, they imagine the boogeyman in the closet. So you make up an elaborate story to help their mind cope.
it's not a story, bro. It's real, and it's not made up. Okay, because
I don't think you're hearing me. I'm validating the fact that you believe. I
no,
think
no,
you.
I more than believe, bro.
It's due to the fact that you wouldn't be able to find purpose. Like you haven't been taught how to find purpose outside of fictitious and superstitious belief.
What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Tell us, please. Since you
My
found it.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Purpose is something that comes to a human being
No, I'm asking, what's your purpose? I know
in
the
the moment.
definition.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there
All right, cool.
through their experiences. So right here, right now, my only purpose is to be on TikTok to talk to my guest and to get
Oh
through
my
this
god,
moment.
bro, you funny, man. You hilarious.
Let me
What's your
teach you.
ultimate purpose?
Let me teach you. There's no ultimate purpose other than to live for as long as possible.
Oh, okay. So survival, right? That's your ultimate purpose. Why? What's the point?
It's a natural byproduct of the fallibility of my physical body and the fact that death is a true end and human beings truly die, and that's a real, you know. Let me not say danger, but that's the reality of what makes me human. Part of what makes me human is not just that I'm alive. One of the most profound aspects, one of the deepest aspect of understanding my human experience is to come face to face with the reality that it will end. That creates a sense of urgency that makes my life significantly and unimaginably valuable because there's no second chance. There's no prototype. This is the prototype. This is the original. This is
How's your life
it.
valuable? How is it valuable when you can lose it at any time? What are you talking about? It's not valuable.
That's what makes something valuable. If you cannot lose something at any
Uh,
time, it's really not that valuable. Think about
so
it.
are you
Think about it.
wait,
Gold is valuable because it's
bro?
rare. And
Are you
then if
guaranteed life tomorrow?
that's the point. That's why life is valuable. Because there's no
Okay, okay.
guarantees.
Wait, so if there's uncertainty, right? How is that valuable? Because you don't know. You don't know your next minute. So
The
you're like a
value
dust, bro. You can
the,
just be
the
blown away.
value the value is within what you can do with it, right? Think about it. The value of gold is
I'm
not
talking
just the
about human
gold
life
itself.
itself. No, I'm talking about the
Yes.
human life itself. It's not that
Yes.
valuable. It's not
It
valuable that much.
yes it is. Are you kidding?
But I just gave you why it's not valuable because you can lose it at any time. We like value, bro.
That's exactly why it's valuable. It's valuable because you can lose it at any time. If you couldn't lose your life, it wouldn't really have that much value because there's no risk involved. Value is with risk. Think about it, bro. If I had a bunch of money in my bank account, that money is valuable because someone can steal it from me. And if I lose it, I'll be in a bad position. I won't
No, the money is
exist.
valuable. The money is valuable because you need it to survive in our society. You have to pay bills. You got to do other things, not because somebody can
Even
steal it from you. What
even
are you talking
even
about?
even if I already had enough to survive, whatever I have that is in excess will still be valuable. Because money is something that everybody wants. Somebody always wants to take your stuff, right? If even if you had $1 billion, bro, and I scam you out of 100,000, you wouldn't necessarily feel good about it because you worked hard to earn your money, so it's valuable to you. That's why you don't put
Yeah,
your
the
social
reason why it's
security or put your bank account number on the
wait,
internet.
bro. But the reason why it's valuable is because I need it to survive. It's not because I'm thinking someone can steal it from me.
Regardless of why you need it or if you don't need it, the point is that it's valuable because of its scarcity and because it's hard to obtain. That's what gives something its value. Listen, a rock is not really
I think
that
that's
valuable to
subjective.
human beings because human beings can easily find rocks. Like if you had like a rock in your hand, like a rock that you picked up yesterday, let's say just a concrete, right? A piece of concrete, and I take that piece of concrete from you. You won't really miss that much, regardless of what you needed it for, because you can just get another one easily.
Well, I do believe that's subjective. It depends on how you look at what's valuable in your life. I'm not here to tell you what it is, but I
So,
just got one.
so hold up. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What is value in your opinion?
What is value?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say something that I hold as great importance. Obviously, life is important. My family's life is important. So those are what I call value, right? But I'm
Okay.
talking about in
So
general, the
value.
human life. Wait, bro, let me finish though. The human life in general is not really that valuable because we can lose it at any time, right? So, are you there? You just wait. Where you go?
I'm here. Keep talking.
All right. So the reason why I say it's not that valuable is because you can lose it at any time. So it's not guaranteed. We're literally living our lives on the basis of risks. You can step outside, some car just, God forbid, just bombed your ass and you gone. So what is the value there? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The value is within the experience of what makes life life, and also the
Right.
fact that there is high risk involved. Have
Right,
you
right.
never
So
have you never
yeah,
heard high risk, high yield?
high
Right?
risk, high.
Yeah.
So
Even if you do a job that is very risky, there's always risk pay, hazard pay, right? That hazard pay is because the risk makes it to where you have to commit more, and it makes it significantly valuable than something less risky.
yeah,
So life is valuable because it's rare, because it's fragile, and yet it's pleasurable, especially in the
no,
moment.
wait,
That's why,
wait.
and you and I can only say that because we experience life as humans. If we had never experienced life as a human, we perhaps would never understand.
Well, no, no. The reason why I'm saying I get where you're coming from, okay? And I think it's valuable, yes. But I'm saying in general, we're talking about in generality, not individual. To every individual, life is valuable. But in general, as a collective, it's not because you can really just lose it at any time. So to
Sure,
me,
sure,
that's
sure,
how I reason it.
sure. If you want to look at it at a cosmic level, yes, it probably doesn't hold any extrinsic value.
That's right. That's right.
That's why the value of life is intrinsic, right? The value of a living thing, first and foremost, is to the thing which is alive. So the value of my life is first and foremost to me. Now, whatever it is, whatever identity I associate with, I'll also find value in that. And because naturally I can't help but be a human, anyone else who is a human being would understand that common value in that common humanity. But outside of the scope of humanity, what's the value? And that's
Outside
the
the
reality. That is what is called the sad reality of the world. So if you don't find
it doesn't have to be
intrinsic
that way.
value within your experiences, you might be tempted to imagine a God because you won't be able to
No.
deal with the fact that you were born randomly, somewhat randomly, and you die
Okay.
somewhat randomly. And that's it.
Okay. Okay. Let me give you an example now. So say I was born blind. What is my value? Go ahead.
Your value is within the scope of what you can experience life as, right?
Homie,
So
I can't see, bro. What the fuck is that?
listen. A blind person is not a dead person. I don't know why you're smirking.
Bro, I'm asking you, what is my hope? There is no hope for me. Because why? This is done.
Listen. Do you think that blindness is the equivalent of sadness?
I'm not saying it's the equivalent of sadness.
Okay,
I'm saying
do you think that a blind
no one
person
wants to
can
be born blind,
genuinely
bro.
no, do you think that a blind person can genuinely have happy moments?
They can't have happy moments.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. It
I'm
is
not
those
disputing
happy
that.
moments within their scope. Like I said, if you don't have eyes, you can still hear, you can still eat, you can still drink, can still experience life enough to see that life is beautiful. And then
Wait, to see?
you also
How can I
have,
see, bro?
if you were born blind, you don't even know what it's like to see. So your baseline will be a little bit different from the person that can see.
But is it justifiable though?
As for from what perspective?
So why am I born blind? Why can't I be born like everybody else? Where's the
Exactly,
justice for me?
exactly.
Where's the justice for me, right? Where's
Oh,
the justice for me?
hold up. Why were you born black? Why were you born a man?
The fuck?
Why are you overweight? Why are you not in
Bro,
shape?
I'm in
It's
shape, man.
okay,
Wait, hold
good.
on. Wait. I'm saying, where's the justice for me? Born blind.
There's
That's
no
my
need
question.
for justice because no crime has been committed.
That's a crime to humanity, bruv.
By who? A crime needs someone to
Because
commit a crime. Who committed the crime?
because you believe in equality, right? So obviously something was stolen from me, right? So I'm asking you,
Who stole it from you?
I don't know. You tell me because I believe in God, right? So
No,
I know. I know.
no. Regardless of your belief, you see,
No,
that's
see, I
why
believe in
you.
God. It's a
That's
different. If I go into that region, you won't. You say I'm cuckoo for cocoa puff. But I'm asking you, since you don't believe in God, where is the justice for me? That's what I'm asking.
There's no need for justice because it wasn't a crime that was committed with any intention. There's no intent involved. It's just a natural order of things, you know.
The
Unfortunately,
natural order.
some people, yeah, unfortunately, mutations happen that are outside of any specific person's control. You know, if someone was involved, you would say there was a mistake, right? And going in line with your way of thinking, it will be God. Then God is the criminal. In that
Okay.
sense, if you believe that God is the one that creates human being and someone is created blind, then the
Right.
criminal is God. So if you're seeking for justice, God is the only person, the only convict from your worldview. But then if there is no God, then we understand the biology of a human being. We understand that it's no one's fault that you're born blind or deaf or dumb.
So throughout my existence, I would never see. I would never have vision. I would never know what it's like
Listen,
to
you can
literally
only
look at something.
you can only say see right now because you already have a baseline that involves your eyes actually working. A person who is born blind doesn't even know. They can't imagine. So their baseline is different.
Bro,
They're operating from within their sense of sight, their sense of smell, which typically and biologically are sharper than the person who relies on their eyesight. That's their
Bakanga,
baseline for what makes life valuable for them. Do you understand what a baseline is?
Bakanga, if you was born blind, would you be happy?
I'll be happy because I won't know what
Are
it's
you
like
sure?
to I won't know what it's like to see, and
Ah,
within the experience that I have, I would find happiness.
you're not. You don't mean that, really.
Again, please don't, bro. I don't want to insult you, but I keep explaining myself in circles. A person who, okay, think about it, bro.
All right,
A person who's never tasted sugar before. Do you think they can imagine what sweet is?
bro. No, but that's
Okay,
different.
okay. Do you think that they would judge themselves based on what is
Okay,
sweet and
what if
what's
you're born
not?
crippled? What if you're born crippled?
That's just the world. That's your
Okay,
baseline.
so because you've never walked, right? You wouldn't care how it feels like. That what you're saying?
Perhaps you
You
would
wouldn't care.
desire. Listen. Let me
I
give
don't
you
look, listen, bro. I got friends that are disabled, okay, and I'm telling you what they tell me, okay. Maybe you've never had friends that are disabled. They say they try. Yes, they are happy. I'm not disputing that, okay. But at certain times, right, they feel lots of sadness and depression. Are you aware of this? So
of
I'm asking,
course,
where's the justice for that? Where's the justice for that? That's all I'm asking. If you don't believe in God,
there's no need for justice because nobody committed a crime.
so it's fair that lots of people get born, healthy,
It's not
don't
that it's
they?
fair or not fair. It's unfortunate, but no one is to be
Unfortunate. Why is he
blamed.
unfortunate? Why is he
Be-
unfortunate? Tell me.
because they were born with a disability, and we only know it's a disability because we see that there are other human beings who don't have that condition. If every human
Okay.
being was born crippled, then crippled would be normal.
So is that nature?
That's natural, yes.
Okay, what is this nature and why is it like that? Tell me.
Because nature is random, right? So,
Random.
contrary to popular belief, listen. Contrary to the popular belief that religious people like to
Um,
propagate, oh, that the universe is perfectly designed, the earth is perfectly designed so we can survive. It's really not that perfect.
no,
There
it was at
is.
the beginning. We screwed it up. I'm sure you're familiar with the Bible.
Were you there at the beginning?
I wasn't there, but people were shown the beginning. So it's
Who was shown the
actually
beginning?
a person, Moses. Moses, God revealed the beginning to him. So
And
everything
is there any proof that Moses was shown the beginning?
is there any proof? Well, it does reflect our world, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What does it mean to be shown the beginning?
Well, he wrote the book of Genesis and Exodus, so him
Regardless
spending
of what he wrote, what does it mean to be shown the beginning?
to be shown he was like God revealed to him what had happened before.
How did God reveal to him?
Well, God came down on Mount Sinai and spoke to Moses face to face as a friend.
And then God told him on Mount
What,
Sinai.
bro? If God comes down and talks to you, He's communicating, right?
Is there any evidence that God came down and spoke to Moses?
It's in the Bible, and it was
No, regardless of the story.
documented.
The story is what we're trying to look for evidence for. You cannot use the story for evidence for the story itself. Is there any evidence that the story is true?
Well, that happened a long time ago, bro. So obviously,
Regardless of when it
wasn't
happened,
there.
is there any evidence that somebody came down and spoke to Moses? Other than
There's a place called Mount Sinai. So and they literally actually
yeah,
they had like the Ten Commandment written in rocks. Do you know that? I saw that actually. So go check it out, man. I'm telling you, man.
human beings in the past used to write on rocks all the time. It's a
Okay,
common human practice.
but it does correlate as to what Moses actually wrote down as the Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments couldn't have come from God because they already existed in Egypt before Moses ever compiled only 10 of them. There were the 42 affirmations of Mahat, which were 100% man-made.
Bro,
And the 10 Commandments of Moses are no more profound than the 42 affirmations of Mahat. So
what is
logically, there's no
Mahat, bro?
reason to... Mahat is a deified idea or a personification of a deity in ancient Egypt of the supreme goddess, and the many
spell it?
principles. Huh?
Spell it. How do you spell it? Mahat. Go ahead.
MAAT.
MWAT. I've never heard this before. MWAT. Mahat? You sure, man?
Yes.
I don't see anything about deity here. Maybe you got it wrong, but I'll try deity actually. Because I know Egypt had their own gods, and it was like the sun god
You
Ra
should
was
put you should put a hyphen between the A's.
okay.
You're referring to the FUD test.
No,
bro,
I'm talking about Ma'at.
Oh, wait, is it Mahat like MAAT, right?
Hi Meta. Who was the Egyptian deity Ma'at?
Imhotep was a revered Egyptian deity, polymath, and architect.
No, Ma'at. Hold up.
No. She's is a Egyptian goddess. Actually, I found
Yes. Hey
Concept
Meta.
of truth, justice, balance, order.
Hey there.
Okay, go ahead. Say what did you say?
So it says that she's about the concept of truth, justice, balance, and order. So I want you to tell me where the 42 laws came, the 10 commandment, whatever you said. Where is that in?
Like I said, the Egyptians already had a culture that was based on that, right? They personified their ideas of justice, whatever you just read, righteousness, and they personified it in the form of a deity called Ma'at. It was actually something that predates or precedes Moses' 10 commandments. Now,
No.
let's just assume for 1 second, right? That Moses was actually a real person. Considering that he was born and raised in Egypt with the highest level of Egyptian education, you really think that it's strange that he would have, especially someone who wanted to create his own country, that he would emulate the Egyptians?
Bro, it seemed like you're not educated with the Bible. So Moses never wanted to be the leader of the Israelites. Are you aware of this? He literally begged God to send another. Why are you acting like you don't know it, bro?
Again.
Wait. Are you familiar with the Exodus, bro? Are you serious?
Listen. You need to calm down and use your brain, okay?
Can you just admit you was wrong?
Wrong about what?
You said Moses, right, wanted to lead his people, but that's a lie. He never wanted that. It was God that kind of like persuaded him to do it. God wanted him to do it.
Was it God that persuaded Moses to kill the Egyptian who was persecuting the Israelite?
Bro, that was his fellow brother, man. If
Bro,
you see your fellow brother
calm down,
getting,
calm down, calm down. I want you to use your brain because you're not using it, bro. Like,
no, I think you're not using your brain, man. But
listen. Why did Moses flee Egypt?
well, because he's murdered an Egyptian,
Is that a reason?
and Pharaoh wanted to unalive him, so he flee.
How did Pharaoh find out?
Word got around, so obviously it was reported.
No, you say you read the Bible.
Yes,
So how did anybody find out that Moses killed an Egyptian?
bro. Because actually, wait, hold on.
So now you're gonna Google it because you don't know.
No. I know, but I want to be sure. I don't want to say
No,
something.
tell me what you know first before you go and check.
Okay, so the Bible, I think the Bible did mention that Pharaoh sought to unalive Moses, and
How did Pharaoh find out?
that's what I don't remember the part. I really don't know how
Okay,
he.
yeah,
I don't
just
think
say
the
you
Bible
don't
tells us
know.
how.
So
I
I'll
don't.
tell you.
Wait,
I'll
wait.
tell you. So
Okay.
Moses sees this Egyptian bullying a Hebrew, and he helps that Hebrew out by killing the Egyptian. But then the next day, he found that same Hebrew fighting with another Hebrew. So he goes to that Hebrew and be like, "Look, bro, why you guys fighting? Ain't you guys brothers?" And the Hebrew that he had just helped the day before said, "Who made you judge over us? Are you gonna kill me like you killed that Egyptian?" That's how word got around.
Didn't I tell you the
Because
word got around, bro? Didn't I tell you that, man?
I asked you how.
Okay, I said word got around, right? But I don't remember how it
I
got
asked
around.
you how the word got around.
Okay, but I said word got around, right?
Word
Just
get
because you
around
missed
is
that.
what? But I asked you how.
Fam. I just missed that, okay? But carry on.
You just missed that?
Yeah, obviously, when
No, you didn't know.
no, no, I missed it, man. Now I remember.
You didn't know.
Bro, can
You didn't know.
bro? You can't remember everything in the Bible, like
You
word for
didn't
word.
know.
All right, carry on, man. Whatever you say. I remember it actually.
You didn't know.
Wait, hold on.
I
First of
don't
all,
care if you're a Christian or not a Christian, bro. If you don't get integrity, bro, I don't have to waste my time with you, bro.
no.
You
First
didn't
of all,
know.
I told you the
You
Bible
didn't
didn't
know.
tell us.
Stop going in circles,
Okay, can
bro.
I
You
finish,
didn't
man? Can I
know.
finish?
You
Can
didn't
I
know.
finish?
That's it. Let's move on. You didn't
Can
know.
I finish? The Bible didn't
No,
tell us
don't
how
finish
Pharaoh
anything. I
knew.
said you didn't know.
Okay. The Bible didn't tell us how Pharaoh knew. Okay, you're just assuming that because the Israelites rejected Moses. Can you give me the scripture where it says who told Pharaoh? Go ahead. I know you're gonna ask AI. Please ask AI. So that's why when you asked me, I said I don't
Hi,
know because I
Meta.
don't know who told Pharaoh. Yeah,
Hey
make sure
there,
you tell your
I'm Meta
audience.
AI, your
How,
friendly AI
hold
assistant.
on, Meta. How did the Egyptians found out that Moses had killed an Egyptian?
The Egyptians discovered Moses had killed an Egyptian through a witness, an Egyptian overseer who had been beaten by Moses. The overseer reported the incident to Pharaoh, who then sought to
Oh
kill
my
Moses.
Bakanga, you are funny, bro. What I tell you, bro?
Random.
You're
Random.
a big. You took a massive L, bro.
The Egyptians discovered Moses had killed an Egyptian through a witness, an overseer who had been beaten. The overseer reported the incident to Pharaoh, who then sought to kill Moses, forcing him to flee to Midian.
Who was the overseer? Was he Egyptian or Hebrew?
Good question. The overseer who witnessed Moses kill the Egyptian was an Egyptian. According to Exodus 11 to 12, Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, and when he
Bakanga,
intervened,
stop, bro.
he
Stop.
killed the
Turn it
Egyptian.
off, man.
An Egyptian
Turn it off,
overseer
bro.
witnessed the act.
Why did Moses kill the Egyptian? Bro, if you don't stop laughing like that, bro, I'm gonna just block you because
Okay, I'm
whether
sorry, man.
you're
I'm sorry.
right or you're wrong, it
I'm sorry,
doesn't
bro.
justify that you act like you have mental issues. Come on.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Why did Moses kill the Egyptian?
Moses killed the Egyptian because he saw him beating a Hebrew slave. Moses intervened, killing the Egyptian in a fit of rage, then fled to escape punishment. He acted out of anger and a sense of justice.
Who witnessed Moses killing the Egyptian who was bullying the Hebrew?
Great question. The Egyptian overseer witnessed Moses killing the Egyptian. He then reported the incident to Pharaoh, leading to Moses' flight to Midian.
What are the supporting Bible verses that supports the Egyptian overseer seeing Moses?
The Hebrew slave Moses was defending, saw him kill the Egyptian. This slave later confronted Moses in Exodus 2:14, suggesting he was the one who witnessed the event.
Hold up. The slave was the one who witnessed the event?
The Hebrew slave Moses defended witnessed the event. He later confronted Moses, saying, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Did you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Exodus 2:14.
So how did word then get around?
The Hebrew slave told others, and word spread quickly. The Egyptian authorities likely investigated, and Pharaoh soon learned about the incident, seeking to kill Moses. Moses
bro, you can
fled to
stop,
Midian, fearing for his life.
Bro, you can
So
stop.
where do you get that reference that an Egyptian overseer was a weakness? Is there any scriptural backing for the Egyptian overseer, or is that an extra biblical narrative?
There's no biblical reference to an Egyptian overseer witnessing Moses killing the Egyptian. The Hebrew slave Moses defended witnessed the event, as seen in Exodus 2:14. My previous mention of an Egyptian overseer was an error, not supported by scripture.
You made an error. Okay,
All
never
right,
mind.
So
Hey,
it's not in the Bible.
random.
Wait, it's not in the Bible. I just read it.
Random. Calm down.
What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing, man?
Calm down.
You're a cool guy, man. I appreciate you, man.
Random.
No, I'm giving you praise, fam.
You don't need to praise me because I didn't do anything worthy of praise. Now, check this out, bro. Don't be too impulsive. Of course, Siri, I know the story very well. I've read some extra biblical text, some text that Christians don't support, and I know where she's getting that narrative from, that an Egyptian overseer. There are some books, I don't know what those books, I forgot what the names are, but those books actually go in great detail about the story. Huh?
There's the book of Moses, the book of the prophets. Maybe that's
I'm not sure exactly which one, but there's I think it's Jared or something like that has a lot of details. Like it literally tells you like when Moses was born, far more than the Bible. But since you're a Christian and you're going based on the biblical narrative, it was the slave that spread the word. Now, when I first read it and you heard what sounded like it supported what you said this saying, stop talking. So I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you something. If you know something and you're doing research, always look for multiple points to centralize, because I was ready to learn. If I was wrong, I was wrong. But I knew I wasn't wrong, right? And even if I was wrong, I would have had an opportunity to learn. So I'm not seeking confirmation bias like you. For me, it's very important not to misquote the book. Now, according to Egyptian, to the Bible, Moses was a prince of Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So he received Egyptian education, right?
Correct.
To the highest level. By the time he left Egypt, he was a 40-year-old man, right?
Correct.
Bro, if you were born in America and raised in America until your 40s, regardless of what's happening in America, will you not be influenced by American culture, American ways of thinking, American ideologies?
Yeah, you would.
Okay. Do you know that the 10 commandments of the Bible are actually plagiarizations of the 42 affirmations of Mahat, which is an Egyptian educational principle or culture that predates the nation of the Jews? So logically, from you and I's perspective in 2025, there's no need for you to believe that Moses actually got those 10 commandments from a God who came to tell him what the Egyptians already knew and what he already learned in school as an Egyptian. It's like God coming down from heaven to tell me about the U.S. Constitution. When I've been reading it the whole time that I'm in America, why will God come down from heaven to give me the 10 bills of rights when I could just read the US Constitution and find the Bill of Rights? God will have to give me information which is not available elsewhere. So we can then conclude that not only was Moses a prince in Egypt, but if you're a prince in Egypt, you're eligible to become Pharaoh. Moses received the same education as someone who was going to possibly be Pharaoh because he was the son, adopted son of Pharaoh's only daughter. He was a legitimate heir to the throne of Egypt. So his mom, his adopted mother, probably told him his whole life that he's going to be Pharaoh. But guess what? The Egyptians didn't like that idea because they ultimately knew that he was one of the Hebrew children, right? And
Wait,
the one who ended
I
up...
told you got to come from the bloodline, though. Wait. I told you got to come from the bloodline to be a pharaoh, because Moses was not from their blood.
No. Even in secular history, it wasn't always like that. It was always based on who had more power and who ended up making conquests. But what I'm showing you is, even this is just assuming that Moses was a real person, because I don't think Moses was a real person. But even if Moses was a real person, when you look at his actions, you can tell that because God doesn't exist, that was a political agenda. Moses went to the desert. He didn't like the idea. In fact, there are different narratives, some which are not biblical, who claim that Moses did not actually go to Midian first. He went down into Africa. He went further down into Africa, where he got married. He was made a prince. He ruled one of the nations of the Africans for a long time. And then eventually he decided to go back to Egypt to set his people free. And then he was going to set them free and take them to go and establish their own nation, because that was always the dreams of their forefathers. The Egyptians were not treating them right because they were cattlemen. They kept cattle and they had multiplied significantly. So because he knew the Egyptian political system, he went back as a politician and he negotiated politically. Except the way they wrote it in the book, their political negotiation is using supernatural powers. What was the first thing he did when he went to Pharaoh? He dropped a stick on the ground, right? And the stick turned into a snake. What did the Egyptians do? They dropped their sticks on the ground and turned into a snake. So there was really nothing that Moses could do that the Egyptians couldn't do. The only one sign that Moses did that the Egyptians didn't do was a sign where apparently the angel of death went around and killed all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, including their cattle and their sheep. All the other 9 plagues. Moses made the Nile turn red. The Egyptian magicians did the same thing. Moses brought a bunch of frogs. The Egyptians brought the same thing.
Wait, what?
Moses, yeah.
What Nah, man. Nah, you capping, bro. Okay, so wait, hold on, bro. So the flies, right? Did the Egyptian do that? Could they even do that though? The locusts, the darkness. What are you talking about? The darkness. What about the darkness that plagued the land of Egypt? But Moses and the people had light. Could they do that?
Bro, hold up. Let me ask you a question, bro. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You really believe that Egyptians and Hebrews were living in the same land, but somehow it will be daytime for the Egyptians, or it will be nighttime for the Egyptians, but it will be daytime for the Jews in the same land?
Why is that so difficult?
Where do you live right now?
I'm in Canada, bro. Why
Canada,
is it so
right?
Yeah. Vancouver.
What province?
I'm in BC, so Vancouver. Do you know the place?
What is the closest US state to Vancouver?
Seattle.
You're telling me that it could literally be nighttime in Seattle for 3 days and then daytime in Vancouver for 3 days?
I'm gonna be honest, we've got strange weather pattern here. So like literally we could have a rainfall like just right here in this location, and then when you step out just 5 feet, it's not raining. So it's not that surprising.
Bro, let's say Vancouver was Egypt. There's Egyptians. Oh no, there's Africans in Vancouver and there's Canadians in Vancouver. You're telling me that one day you and your descendants are going to multiply in Vancouver, you as an African man. Then somehow your God can make it to where the indigenous Vancouverians or the Canadians, it will be nighttime for them, but it will be daytime for you in the same place. You think that
God
makes sense?
God can do anything. I mean, he rained down fire.
Hold on. You think that makes sense?
No, I'm saying it's not. You don't see me possible because you go with science and all that. But with God, anything is possible. So we know.
Explain to to me how it would be possible.
Well, how did God rain down fire from the heavens?
No,
right?
we're not talking about the fire. Explain to me how you can be in the same place with someone, but it's nighttime for them and it's daytime for you.
It's God, bro. So
Other
God,
than it's God, how?
how? It's supernatural. That's what I'm telling you. Is God.
Bro, do you understand that
Supernatural, bro.
daytime?
I don't know.
No. Daytime and nighttime are natural things.
Who made the daytime, bro?
Bro, regardless of
No,
who made the daytime, regardless
Who
of
made
who
it?
made the daytime, daytime and nighttime are natural things, and it doesn't say it was a supernatural darkness. It doesn't say it was a supernatural light.
No. I'm saying the way it was made is supernatural. It's not to the natural order. So that's why it's not reasonable to
Hold
you.
up. Let me ask Meta. I'm curious what Meta thinks about it.
How you gonna ask AI after they failed on that question, bro?
Hold
Stop.
up. Hold up.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Meta. So there's this part in the Bible where apparently in the days of Moses, God made it to where there was darkness for the Egyptians and then there was light for the Hebrews. According to the Bible reference, what does that mean?
Good question. The event you're referring to is likely the ninth plague in Exodus 10, 21 to 29. God sent darkness that lasted for 3 days, but the Israelites had light in their dwellings. This miraculous contrast highlighted God's power and distinction between his people and the Egyptians.
Yeah, I want you to explain how that makes sense, irrespective of it being God's power. How could two people in the same location, one have darkness and one have light? What does that mean?
Think of it like a selective, supernatural phenomenon. Imagine two people in the same space, one in a bubble of light, the other in darkness. It's not about physical light sources, but a miraculous distinction between the Hebrews and Egyptians.
So it wasn't literally darkness and it wasn't literally light.
It was a supernatural phenomenon. Darkness and light symbolized judgment and salvation. The Egyptians faced God's judgment, while the Hebrews were spared.
Yeah, but my point is, it wasn't literally light as daylight, and it wasn't literally darkness as nighttime.
The darkness and light were supernatural, not physical. It was a selective phenomenon, not dependent on time of day or natural light sources. This distinction highlighted God's power and separation between the Hebrews and Egyptians.
I understand that. Whether you believe or not that is God's power, it's a matter of faith. But I'm talking objectively, realistically, in our world, considering that the story is supposed to have been based in our world. It's not possible that it could have been literal light, as in it was daytime for the Egyptians, or daytime for the Hebrews, and nighttime for the Egyptians, right?
Interesting question. Objectively, it's unlikely that literal light and darkness coexisted in the same space, as you described. This phenomenon defies physical laws and our understanding of light. It's more plausible to interpret it as a supernatural or metaphorical event.
Yes, I agree that it's metaphorical. I don't think that it's literal in any sense. The problem is that some people see it as something literal, when in fact it is metaphorical.
Many interpret the darkness and light as a metaphor for spiritual separation, not a physical phenomenon. Literal interpretations can be misleading, but the biblical account remains a powerful symbol of God's presence and distinction.
Yeah, okay, let's say even metaphorical is still always going to be subjective and a matter of perspective, because what you might think from your perspective is light, and darkness could literally be reversed from another person's perspective, right?
Perspectives can vary greatly. What one person sees as light, another might see as darkness. It's a subjective interpretation, influenced by personal experiences, biases, and cultural backgrounds.
So if a Hebrew is the one who wrote the Bible and you're considering biases, doesn't it make sense that the Hebrew will write that they were in light and the Egyptians were not?
The Hebrew writer's perspective is indeed biased. They would naturally portray themselves as chosen and enlightened, while the Egyptians are in darkness. This self-serving narrative is a classic example of in-group bias.
I hope you learned something.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I feel like
bro,
AI all the time, bro.
If that did not make sense to you, bro, I'm so sorry. Hey, Randall, if that didn't make sense to you, my brother, if that didn't make sense to you, bro, there's no helping you.
No, no, no,
Because
no, no.
because that
No,
has nothing to do with your belief. That's just a fact. It's just
no,
simple.
no.
Like this
AI
applies
is
to
a fact.
everybody, whether you believe or you don't believe. Like if
Bro,
that didn't make sense to you, bro,
bro,
damn.
AI is programmed. You know that, right? I don't know what bro is. Like, what are you thinking AI is, my guy? Or matter?
So now you're gonna attack the AI.
No, didn't the AI make mistake? What are you talking about, bro? You witnessed that. So it's not accurate. How you gonna ask matter about supernatural stuff and you expect them to understand? Like what? They don't. She doesn't understand what she said.
You
She
don't
even
even
said.
understand the supernatural stuff.
I understand it. I said it violates the natural order. I told you that.
It
That's why
doesn't
it's called
violate the
supernatural.
natural order because it doesn't happen in the natural world.
How'd you know? Just because you
Because,
weren't there,
bro, were
you
you
weren't there
there?
to witnesses, bro.
Hold
You
up, hold
weren't there
up,
to
hold
witnesses.
up,
How
hold
you
up. Were
gonna
you
be saying
there?
that?
Were you
I
there?
wasn't there, but I believe it. They told
Okay,
us
so
about it.
listen to me. Listen to me. Something like that cannot happen in our world. It's impossible, whether it's natural or supernatural. You cannot have light and darkness in the same space. It literally, even with supernatural powers, that will make your God a walking contradiction. You cannot call a contradiction
How is
supernatural
there
just
walking
because.
contradiction?
Listen. Because you cannot have light and darkness in the same space. If I turn
Okay,
on the light in the room, it can't be dark in the room.
who made light and dark?
What the Randall,
Well, you're limiting this God, right? Because if you say that's not possible, you're limiting this God,
Randall,
bro.
Randall. Yes, I'm
Because fuck
limiting
you,
your
bro.
God. If your God is doing
How?
nonsensical things, so you think that?
Nonsensical
Hold
thing.
up, hold up. Let me ask you a question. You think your God can do anything?
Yes. Last time I checked,
Okay, can your God exist and not exist at the same time?
can my God exist and not exist at the same time? That's not possible.
But
But
can your God supernaturally exist and not exist at the same time?
bro.
Can
It's a
your God
bullshit question.
supernaturally exist and not exist at the same time?
Fam, he's always existed. So
Can your God supernaturally exist and not exist at the same time?
well, he can choose to not exist, but that would be him upping
Can
him.
your God supernaturally exist and not exist at the same time?
How is that possible? Tell me.
Supernaturally.
Sup-
Are you limiting God?
what do you mean supernatural?
Are you limiting God?
Bro,
Are you limiting God?
I see what you did there, man. I see what you did there. Man, this brother
Bro, listen to me.
got
If
skills, bro.
someone every time someone says something nonsensical and the
This
response
is
is
funny.
you're limiting God, that's literally very shallow minded, which I just demonstrated to you. Light and darkness cannot literally be in the same place, even if it's God that's involved. That's why we know that could not have been literal. Even from God's perspective, it couldn't be literal.
But it is literal if you read the word, right? I mean, I know you don't believe in it, but I'm just telling you, it meant
That's
what it's.
how come we know that the Bible is a fictional book. Because when we write fiction in 2024, we make all types of things possible. It's an alternate reality. It's not our reality. In
What if
our
you're wrong?
reality, those things don't happen.
What if you're wrong, brother?
There's no what if. I'm not wrong.
There is what if, bro. Are you certain, man? You acting like you're certain about there is no
I
God,
am
bro.
certain
It's
that
funny.
light and darkness cannot exist in the same place at the same time on earth in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I'm telling you, the only way for that to happen is through God, doing
Okay,
this.
then that would be the equivalent of God existing and not existing at the same time.
First of all, I don't know what that means. I don't understand what kind of questions that is like. It's a
Okay,
trap question.
listen. Darkness is the absence of light, my brother. So you
But
cannot have light and have darkness at the same time, because when you have light, that means that light is present. If you have darkness, that means light is absent. So if you're talking about the same exact place, it would be like something existing and not existing at the same time in the same place.
you ever heard of hellfire? I know you're gonna roll your face, man, but let me tell you something. I'm gonna reveal a secret to you right now.
What does hellfire have to do with
Okay,
literally what we just talked
so
about?
so the underground, right? Hell is actually below the earth, okay? And there's a lot of fire there. But guess what? The fire does not produce enough light to sort of like brighten all of hell. Instead, the darkness consumes the light. So when God said he's light, he's
So
the source of light.
let me get this right. Randa. So you've been to hellfire.
No,
Do you
people
have
have actually been there.
do you
People
have
have been there actually. There's a
hold
lot of
on.
AE experiences.
You
Yeah,
have
they've been there.
you have real estate. You have real estate in hellfire.
Real estate? What is that? What you talking about?
Do you
Like a
own
house?
land? Do you own land in hell?
No. The demon's gonna whoop your ass.
Come on, bro. Sometimes I want you to have an intelligent conversation, bro.
No, it's the
But
truth. They're gonna whoop your ass,
no,
bro.
listen. Talking with you is literally like talking with someone at the intelligent level of a child, because you do say some gullible things, which I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or you're just being
No, I'm
like
not.
shallow-minded on
It's the
purpose.
truth. It's the truth, bro.
It's
You
not
gotta
the
know
truth. It's not the
It
truth.
is the truth.
Truth is not based on faith. Truth is based on evidence. Is there any evidence that there's hellfire?
NDE experiences, bro. They speak about it.
Those are people's subjective experiences, like the dreams you have at night. It's like you telling me that
No.
you saw a masquerade in your dream, and then I'll begin to be afraid. That's not real.
Have you done research on that? Be honest. Have you done research? Don't act AI, bro. Wait. Have you done research on that?
Bro,
Be honest, man.
I hope that you don't go around claiming that you're African, because you're embarrassing us, bro. If that's how you think, you're
No,
really
I'm black,
embarrassing
bro.
us.
I don't give a damn. No, it's the truth. I gotta tell you.
No, bro. When you
Yeah,
go
I'm not
around,
embarrassing you,
don't tell people you're from Africa.
Where should I tell them I'm from?
Tell them that you're from Mars, because your IQ is not really your IQ is not.
Yeah, I know
IQ.
my IQ is way beyond your comprehension. I know, man. It's why you gotta act AI. Bro.
Your IQ is beyond my comprehension.
That's right, because that's why you gotta act AI, bro.
So your IQ is so beyond
gotta
my
act
comprehension.
better,
Hold up. Your IQ is so beyond my comprehension. You believe in a fairy tale.
Yeah, because whatever I say, you don't understand. So I do know that
You
it's
don't
beyond
even
your
understand what
comprehension.
you're saying.
I know what I'm saying. I explain everything.
So let me ask you a question.
I proved you right.
What is a near death experience?
What is what?
A near death experience.
So a near-death experience is someone that actually was unalive and their spirit came out of their body and they experienced
When you say
transition.
actually, do you have
Can I
proof
finish,
that hold up. Do you have proof that your spirit actually left their body?
No. They tell us. They say they see their body lying on the
Okay,
bed.
could they be lying? Could they be lying?
No, they're not lying because when
Okay,
you look at
hold on.
Can I finish, bro? You cut me off.
Hold up. Could they be dreaming?
They're not dreaming
Why not?
because they passed away.
No.
There are medical reports.
No,
Have you done research, bro? There are medical reports.
Randall.
They are medical reports. Okay.
Randall. What is it called? It's called. Hold up. Is it called a death experience or is it called a near death?
It's a near-death experience.
What does near mean?
So because they came back.
What does near mean?
Bro, can I finish, man?
What does near mean?
Okay, they came back, so they experienced.
Bro, what does near mean?
Bro, I'm telling you the definition of near-death experience.
What does near mean?
They were close to it.
When you're close to something, what does that mean?
You're about to experience it. Just
If you stand close to the house, is it the same thing as you being inside the house?
no.
If you're near the tree, is it the same thing as you being in the tree?
Bro, ND experiences.
Bro. If you're near the tree, is it the same thing? Bro. If you are nearly graduated, is it the same thing as graduating?
It's not the same logic here. It's not the same logic. And you got
Randall.
Ask Meta, bro. Ask Meta.
Randall.
Right.
Death is defined as the complete cessation of all bodily functions. In its permanency, it's not reversible in any way, shape, or form. A person cannot be resuscitated if their body has completely ceased to function, all the way to the cellular level. So the only way a person can be resuscitated or maybe experience what we call a near-death experience is that they nearly die. That's literally what it means. When you say near-death experience, that just means, damn, they nearly died.
Have you done your research on this? You haven't done nothing but you talking, bro.
How do you know I haven't done any research?
I'm asking you and you don't want to answer. I'm asking you because clearly you don't know what that is.
You cannot read from my body language what the rest my response
No, I can't read from anything you say, man. At this point,
But I thought you have a high IQ. Can't you tell from my body language?
No. I'm saying my IQ.
Can you not tell from my? Can you not? Okay, if your IQ is that high,
I'm not a wizard, bro.
You can't tell from my body language. You cannot read my non-verbal communication. Of course, I've looked into it, and what you're saying is so ridiculous because.
No, you haven't. Give me names. I'm waiting, bro. Give me names. Names of those you looked into. Names of those you looked into. Don't ask a Meta AI, okay? They can't help you here.
Names of who exactly? What do you mean? Like a researcher, a scientist? or a doctor
No.
or someone who's had a near-death
Champion,
experience.
champion. You said you've done research, right? So I guess you have names of people that actually claim they've had NDE experiences. So give me names. I'm waiting.
Mary Kay Baxter, you know who that is?
Who?
Mary Kay Baxter.
Mary Kay Baxter didn't honor life, bro. You are hilarious. She wasn't on her life. Jesus came to her. She was alive. Bro, you are lost,
Bro,
my guy. Bro,
Randall,
she wasn't on her life. Was she on her life? Tell me.
Randall.
Okay, what's
I
up?
have asked you a question. Rather than responding to my question, you jump into ad hominem. Again, like I said, I really truly hope that you don't go around identifying as an African. In 2025, okay?
I'm a proud African,
Now,
man.
now
You can't
listen
even
again. Listen again.
You dig?
Listen. Mary Kay Baxter, right?
She wasn't on her life.
You know about
I
Mary
know
Kay
about her
Baxter?
story. I know about her story. A to
Okay.
Z.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, there's this Nigerian pastor. His name is like Chukwu something. I don't remember his whole name.
Hold on. Was Mary Kay? Wait.
There's also another Nigerian guy. His name is Emmanuel Samson Jude.
Bakanga, hold on. Mary Kay Baxter, was she on her life? Go ahead.
That's besides the point. I'm trying to make a point. Let me finish my point.
Let me
finish my point. Let me finish my point.
Okay, I said give me names of NDE experience. Sorry, I know I'm giving you a hard time, but give me names.
Listen. What happened to Mary Kay Baxter, based on her own claims, is not just that she had a vision, but that the vision left her body in a dead state. So her spirit completely came out of her body. And then the vision that she had, supposedly, it was returned into her body. Now, she doesn't exclusively... Bro. She doesn't exclusively claim a NDE because there were no weaknesses. But the Nigerian pastor Chukwu, he had his experience when he was in the back of an ambulance, right? And he said his heart stopped. Bro, let me finish talking. You're not going to go look it up right now. You're going to go look at the whole story and listen to the 12-hour report.
No, I'm just documenting
You've done your research, right?
I'm documenting the name, bro.
You've done your research, right?
I've done my research, bro.
Okay, give me 3 names.
Okay, very good. So Brian Melvin, Bill Weiss, Angelica Zambro.
Hold up. Bill Weiss?
Bill Weiss, yes.
Tell me, how did Bill Weiss die?
So apparently he went up to get a glass of water, and then his spirit left his body. That's what he claimed. So he experienced.
How is that different from Mary Kay Baxter?
No. Mary Kay Baxter said that Jesus appeared to her. Jesus came to her.
And did what?
Can I finish?
Bro, hold on. Jesus
Let me finish,
came.
bro.
No.
Did Jesus come to her when she was alive?
Be patient.
Did Jesus come to her when she was alive?
Be patient.
I'm patient, bro. You ain't patient.
Okay. You say Bill Weiss. What happened to Bill Weiss again? Just give us step by step.
Okay, Bill Weiss got up, right, to get a glass of water, and then his spirit came out, but so he pretty much was unalive at that very moment.
No.
Without no explanation.
Your spirit coming out of your body the equivalent of being unalive?
Yeah, because that's what.
Hold on. So you're saying that once the spirit leaves the body is the same thing as being unalive?
Correct. I know where you're going.
When Jesus came to Mary Kay Baxter, did her spirit leave her body?
Wait. Jesus appeared to her.
Did her spirit leave her body?
Not right away, okay? Not right away.
At some point, I don't care. Did her spirit leave her body?
That's important.
Because whether it happened right away or it didn't happen right away, her spirit left her body.
No. And it was a guarantee.
That is at the core of her experience. Did her spirit leave her body for her to go to heaven, see heaven, for her to go to hell and see hell?
The difference is it was a guarantee she would return. But Bill Weiss didn't know if he was going to return.
I don't care what the guarantee is. I'm talking about the state of being. Listen,
because you're not sure if you're going to come back, bro.
Randall. I'm
talking about, man?
We already know the stories, so it's not like we don't know the stories. We're not talking about something that's happening in the future. This is all in the past, right? So regardless of how Bill Weiss's experience went, at some point his spirit left his body. At some point he had something that he called an experience where he went to hellfire. The same thing happened to Mary Kay Baxter. Regardless of what experiences she had. At some point, her spirit left her body. At some point, she had an experience where she claimed she saw heaven, where she claimed she saw hell, in the exact same way. And both of them, based on what we know, returned to their bodies. So regardless of if they returned to their body or if they were not going to return to their body, the point is that if your spirit leaves your body, you say it is considered death. And those two people both left their bodies within their experiences. The core of their experiences.
I'm just trying to tell you the difference. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Don't try to tell me the difference as though you understand the subject better than me, because you're contradicting yourself. You said
No,
Bill Wise is... Listen. The Nigerian pastor I'm telling you was actually in an ambulance, right? So he's the type of person that you can be like, oh, well, bring witnesses. Bill Wise was in his living room. Maybe his wife was there, right? But it's not like we have any medical record.
He was in the kitchen. His wife found him.
Regardless.
His wife found him on the floor, right?
Was he dead when his wife found him?
No, he was screaming. That's how he woke up his wife. I thought you know the story, bro.
Bro, I'm asking you a question. Was he dead when his wife found him?
No, he wasn't. But he was screaming. That's what woke up the wife.
So is there any evidence? Is there any evidence outside of what he claims that he actually died?
Is there any evidence? Well, he
Is there any evidence outside of his claims? So did his wife see him in a dead state? Or is he the only one claiming that he died?
He's the only one claiming that.
Okay. Like I said to you, that's very consistent with all these so-called near-death experiences. That's why they're actually called near-death experiences. And we also know that it's near-death experience. Even without invalidating their experience, okay? We don't even have to judge their experience. We just need to talk about the fact that it's near-death, meaning that they didn't actually die. They only nearly died. And because you don't seem to be able to understand that much, that is why you gullibly just swallow all the Kool-Aid.
Okay, bro, I'm really impressed, to be honest. I'm really impressed that you've read Mary Kay Baxter. You've read the entirety of her book. You literally think she was delusional just writing this, right? Or she was imagining stuff. I'm honestly impressed. You've read Bill Weiss. You think he was actually delusional. Like, this man is a real estate person, so he's very intelligent. You literally think he was actually delusional, telling you what went down in hell. Kudos for you, man. You funny, man. I hope you find Jesus. You know, I'm gonna leave your life because your audiences are telling me I gotta go. I hope you find Jesus, man, because trust me, when you breathe your last breath and you see your spirit come out of your body, you gotta remember, you say, man, was I wrong? And it's too late. So, brother, I'm telling you, man, there's more to life than just meets the eyes, man. You know, wake up, bro. Wake up.
Even if there was more to life, even if there was a God, even if there was an afterlife, it's not the one you or the people who believe in your religion claim. Because the last time I checked, bro, relax. The last time I checked, every religion, every culture, every tradition makes such claim. So if I'm going to sit down here worried about your God, I need to sit down here worried about everybody else's God. I just don't have time for that kind of mental illness, okay? The Muslim is going to come up here and tell me exactly the same thing you just said, and you don't even believe in his God. The Hindu will come and sit down and tell me exactly what you said. The African traditionalists, the Native American traditionalists. Bro, do you understand how confused you? Even if there was an afterlife, and you have believed in the Christian version, chances is you can die and realize it was the Muslim one, and you'll just be as fucked as I am. So you should take your own advice when you're considering other religions, right? Because there's no guarantee that your God is the real one. That's your belief. Just like the other person, there's no guarantee that his God is the real one. That's his belief. Now, I say there's no God. So if at the end of the day, regardless of which God there is, I'm the only one who's going to be safe. Because guess what? If it's the Muslim one, I have the same answer for him. If it's the Christian one, I have the same answer for him. If it's the Hindu one, I have the same answer for him. And do you know what my answer will be to any of those gods?
Yeah. What?
Nice to meet you. Because that's what you tell. That's what you tell someone when you meet them for the first time. Isn't that what you tell someone when you meet them for the first time? You say nice to meet you.
You don't know what you're saying, man.
Bro, you really don't. If you meet me for the first time, would you say nice to meet you?
Nice to meet you?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna cry, bro. You're gonna weep.
Why will I cry?
Because you're going to a place of regret.
What will make me go to a place of regret?
You missed the mark because you realize that.
So if I die and I realize it was the hold up. If I die and I realize that it's the Hindu God, I'm going to regret.
Well, you know what's funny? There are false delusion in hell. So some people do.
Are you saying that if I die and I realize that the real God is the Hindu God, I'm going to regret?
First of all, the real God ain't the Hindu God.
That's your belief. You're not
No,
better than
it's
the
the
Hindu.
truth.
You
It's
listen
the
to me.
truth.
Listen to me. You don't have any more proof than the Hindu.
No, I do have proof. It's the truth.
What's your proof?
So I gave you about 4 NDE experience that confirm Jesus is real. So I don't.
Okay. You don't think that Hindus have near-death experiences?
Well, there are false delusions in hell. I'm not surprised about that.
So when a Hindu
You know, Brian
has it,
Melvin.
hold up. When a Hindu has the exact same experience as a Christian, it's delusional. But when a Christian has, it's not delusional.
No, you know Brian Melvin.
Do you hear yourself?
No, I hear myself fully.
So
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
saying
You can't
that. So you're
comprehend it.
saying. So, but let me use it. Let me use the same logic with something similar. So you're saying that if someone comes and tells you a story in English, the same story, they are right. But if someone comes and tells you the exact same story in Hindu, they're wrong.
Not necessarily that analogy.
Okay, so if a Hindu told me
Bro,
that he died and he came back, and a Christian said he died and he came back, why should I believe one more than the other?
no, because I'm telling you, there are false delusions in
Hold on,
hell.
why should I not believe the Hindu? Why should I not believe the Hindu?
Why shouldn't you believe the Hindu? Well, I'm telling you, you gotta read
Now,
what.
why should I not believe the Hindu?
It's your choice. I'm not telling you what to believe in.
No, hold on. It's my
You gotta do your
choice.
research, bro. Do your research.
Have
Do
you
your
done your
research.
research? Have you done your
I've done my
research?
research.
Okay, tell
Islam
me the
don't make
name
no
of
sense.
two. Tell me the name of two Hindu near-death experiences that you know.
Two Hindu. No. I don't. Like I said, right? There are.
Bro, tell me the name of two Hindis, and then also tell me the name of two Muslims, and also tell me the name of two African near-death experiences.
Okay. I think I've done one Hindu before, and what he said was very interesting. Okay. I don't remember his name, but I think I got his note. Give me 1 sec. I'm not lying to you, bro.
No, I don't have 1 sec to give you. Thank you for your time, okay, bro? Have a good night.
Yeah. Have a good night, man. Have a good night.
I know some of you guys wonder why I would talk to someone like that. And if you're a reasonable person and you're listening to these conversations, you really ought to consider the fact that that's a real person. That's how real people think. So regardless of who's right and who's wrong, why do you hold on to a belief intentionally that really is detrimental to your sense of reasoning, that affects your basic reasoning skills? That's a problem. You know, don't allow your religion to make you dumb. If you're going to believe,
I believe in God because God made us. So I'm assuming you don't believe in God. So who made you?
which one made you?
God. There's only one God.
That's your belief, but that's not what human beings believe. When I take the belief of human beings in general, there's many gods. There's the Hindu one, there's the Christian one, there's
Okay,
the
the Hindu God
traditional
made the
ones.
Hindu guy. So who made you?
My father, my mother,
Yeah, but who made your father and mother? Who
their
made the
parents,
earth?
their
Who
parents. I
made
don't
the
know. I
earth?
don't know who made the earth.
So you don't believe in anything? Are you more smart now, or am I more smart?
I'm smarter because I didn't jump to a
So you
conclusion
just
out
believe we
of
came
ignorance.
from what? So where did the universe come from?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's how I know you're not smart. You have no moral
Hold
common
up. You
sense.
don't know. You know that I'm not smart because I chose not to lie.
No, because you have no answer for your problem.
I said I don't know because I wasn't there. Were you there?
Is that the only way to find out?
Yes. If
So
you weren't
something
there,
made it, though. Do
if
you
you
agree
were,
something made it?
if you weren't there,
But
you can
would
only
you
go
agree
based on
something made
stories.
it?
If you weren't there, you can only go based on stories you hear.
So would you agree something made it? The
No,
universe.
I wouldn't agree that something made it because the scientific evidence we have doesn't claim that somebody made it.
Okay, so it just spawned. You are retarded, man.
Let me ask you a question. You're a Muslim, right?
Yeah. No, I'm a Christian.
You believe that snakes can talk?
Snakes. Yeah, in their own language.
So a snake spoke to Eve in their own language. So
That's just a thing. I forgot the word. It's not actually a snake, right? It's a representation of something
so
else.
it's a metaphor.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, there you go. Metaphor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a
So
metaphor
okay,
of
good,
actually
good, good, good.
sinning.
So I guess when
The
Jonah
Satan,
spent
basically, that's the devil. The snake was the devil.
yeah, okay, good, cool. I'll give you that. So when Jonah spent 3 days in the stomach of a fish, that was also a metaphor.
I mean, it could happen. Whales could swallow humans. Well, you think that's weird, yeah? But the universe just spawned itself. That makes sense to you.
Brother,
So that's weird. But the universe.
I didn't ask you if it could happen or not. Since you seem like you know, right? You're so smart, you know.
Look.
Did Jonah spend 3 days in the stomach of a fish or not?
I haven't read all of the Bible. I'm reading it.
Hold up, you haven't read the whole Bible?
No.
Why did you become a Christian before
Even
reading
if I
all
read
of
the
it?
whole Bible, do you think I could keep it all in my head? Dumbass.
That's what the Holy Spirit, doesn't the Bible claim that the Holy Spirit will bring you into the remembrance of all things?
So every book you read, you have every single bit of information in your head.
I don't have the Holy Spirit, but I will assume that if you have the Holy Spirit, you will.
Look. You're not being. You believe in science, clearly. Scientifically, is it possible for an average human?
Listen, again, my brother, you claim that you know God. You claim that you have a relationship with God. And your God claims that your God will put his Holy Spirit in you. And I will imagine that you don't believe that the Holy Spirit of your God is ignorant.
Not even necessarily me. It's not personal, but when you just, when you have common sense, you can analyze that the earth was made by something. It wasn't just random.
You can only
Is that not just pure common sense? Forget faithfulness.
No, it's not common sense.
So you think it's better to believe that it was completely random? That's intellectual.
No, I think it's better to study and follow the evidence rather than believing in fairy tales.
The evidence is in the book. It tells us.
A book in of itself cannot have evidence if it's not testable. Can you test what's in the book?
Of course. So, okay, I'll give you an example.
Hold on. You can test.
I'm not a Muslim.
No.
I'll give you an example.
Hold up. No, if you're not a Muslim, don't give me anything about the Quran. Go with the Bible.
Why? It's all about God.
Bro, you say you're a Christian. You say you're a Christian. You haven't read Injil. Now you want to quote me Quran. I'm pretty sure you haven't read the whole Quran either.
No, but I haven't. But
let's stick to your religion. Let's stick to your religion.
Okay.
Can you test the evidence in the Bible?
Yes, you can.
Okay, how do you
After death, you're gonna find out.
I knew you were a scammer. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, but I'm not a scammer. It's better to believe in God than not. It has moral values.
Hey, if you get your
moral values that the Bible gives is enough for you. Look, even if you're not religious, it's smart to follow the Christian values.
No, my values are better than the Christian values.
Good things.
My values are better than the Christian values.
Okay, tell me this. Everything that's a sin in the Bible clearly is bad for us. So something sent that to us to protect us, no? That would be God.
No, not everything.
What's in the Bible that's a sin that's not good? That should have been not being a sin. What's good in there?
It's a sin in the Bible to love something more than you love God. So if I love my mother more than I love God, for me that's not a sin. I think that someone would literally have to be sick in their head to tell me that I should love an imaginary being written by a bunch of colonizers.
You love yourself more than you love your mother, though.
Yes, naturally, I will love myself more than I love my mother, because in order for me to be able to love, listen. In order for me to be able to love my mother, I have to know that I am me, right? So if I don't, anything I cannot do for myself, I cannot do for someone else. So yes, of course, I will love myself.
Yeah, but you love yourself more than you love your mother.
Yes, because I am me. I almost don't have a choice.
Yes, and so that makes you selfish as well. Then that makes you sick in the head.
No, that makes me myself.
Why? What's so important about you?
Because I cannot, even if I try to, I cannot.
Isn't your creator more important than you?
Listen. You cannot love something else more than yourself.
What about someone that's fed you, raised you, and created you?
You can only love them as much as you love yourself. But you cannot love them more than yourself.
So you wouldn't sacrifice yourself for your mother?
It depends.
Oh, what? If you depends on what?
If my mother would want me to sacrifice myself for her.
No, that's see, a mother wouldn't,
It
but would you
depends
out of
on
love?
if. Listen, you think my mother would prefer for me to die so she can
But
live rather
Jesus
than?
sacrificed himself for you.
Bro, listen. We're talking about my mother, not Jesus. Okay.
Yeah?
You think my mother will want me to sacrifice myself for her?
No, she wouldn't.
Okay, so that's why I say it depends. So whether or not I will sacrifice myself for my mother will also depend on my mother's wishes. Only because naturally she's lived more than me. And in the love relationship, she might actually be the one likely to sacrifice herself for me, so I too can live life.
Exactly. And that's what Jesus done.
There's no proof that Jesus died for me.
There's loads of testaments.
So if I go
So
into the Bible,
in the future,
hold on,
people read your tweets,
hold
yeah.
up. You think that some random guy 2,000 years ago can die for me?
Well, he's the son of God.
That's a claim, and I can
No, he
respect.
couldn't wish. He couldn't wish for our destruction.
I can respect if you believe it, but I don't have any proof that was the son of a god. That's your faith. I respect that, but there's no proof. That's your feelings. That's how you feel about the story. I don't believe it.
When you look at the world,
I don't believe it. I don't believe that Jesus is the son of God.
Okay, so when you look at the world and analyze the world, are not the Abrahamic prophecies, are they not actually becoming real in your eyes?
No, there's not a single one.
How? So Israel, for example, is the most modern creation, and it's literally a part of the Abrahamic faiths, and they're having a war over it. Is that not an Abrahamic war? There you go. The Bible says it. The Torah says it. And even the Muslims say it.
If you think that Israel over there has anything to do with the one in the book, you're probably delusional.
No, but the book warns us of fake prophets.
Bro. If you think that our brothers and sisters over there, our fellow human beings in the Middle East,
So how did these books
if
know?
you think they have something to do with the ones in the book, something's not right with you.
Okay, so how did these books? How can you not find the flaw in them? How can you not find the flaw in the Bible?
The what?
How can you not find the flaw in the Bible? Tell me one flaw.
I think the Bible is a really good book for entertainment, and it's really well written fiction. And you can be as entertained with the Bible as you can read a comic book. Well, just don't be the type of person who goes into a movie.
How would it come to creation?
Relax.
In your opinion,
relax. Don't just be the type of person who goes into a movie, watches Superman, and then walks out of there believing that Superman is actually a real person. You notice that the way we watch movies, when you're in the movie theater and you're watching a movie, if you're constantly telling yourself, well, this is fictional, this is not real. If you're constantly telling yourself, well, I can tell that the actors are acting, you won't be able to enjoy the movie. So we human beings, we have this thing where we intentionally ignore reality. And we
okay, so where did we get our moral values from?
Bro, I'm talking. We kind of program our brains to see whatever movie like Star Wars, the Avengers, Captain America. We put ourselves into that reality. We relate with it in order to be able to enjoy it from the perspective of the writers. We put ourselves on the perspective of the writer to enjoy the storytelling. But as soon as the movie is over, we come back into the real world. We know that, okay, fine. This was just a movie. Human beings actually cannot fly. There's actually not a planet Krypton. Thanos did not destroy half of the universe. You know what I'm saying? There's not a real person who can shoot webs out of their hands. No, Peter Parker is not real. We understand that. But while we're watching the movie, though, we have to enjoy it. So we pretend like it's real.
Okay,
in ancient times, they didn't have television like we have today. So the way they used to entertain themselves was writing stories in books. And because writing was something very new and not as sophisticated as it is today, governments and kings and princes would promote the best books of their generation. And you know that we write fictional books by mimicking reality. That's how they used to entertain themselves. That's why it's called script. Listen, it's called scripture. There's a relationship between a script and a scripture. Script. Okay. So when you want to make a movie, you write a script.
So you're saying the Bible and etc. are fantasy books, entertainment.
Yes.
So did we not get our moral values from there though, as humans?
No.
Our modern moral values and everything doesn't come from these books.
Yeah,
Where
our
does it come
moral
from?
values predate human beings being able to write. Our moral values are the lessons we learn by our day-to-day interactions and the mistakes we
People
make.
didn't even believe in the idea of sinning though before these books, which
Yes,
is basically
you can be moral without believing in the idea of sin.
how that's how you know bad and good. That's the difference between bad and good.
Yeah, just because something is bad doesn't mean it's a sin.
It literally is.
No.
That's why it's a sin, because it's
Like,
bad.
listen. Okay. There are certain things. Do you think it's bad to eat junk food?
Yeah, it is bad.
Is it a sin to eat junk food?
It's a sin to harm your body.
Bro, is it a sin to eat junk food?
If it's harming your body, yes.
Bro, is it a sin to eat junk food? Yes or no?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah.
Why?
Because it harms you.
Does working harm your body?
If you're being a slave, yeah.
No, if you're working on a construction site.
No. Because God told Adam you have to work.
No. You said if it harms
Yes.
your body, it's a sin, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you
For
work.
pleasure. It's not a sin. If you have to walk on a desert.
So if you're hungry and there's no other food available but a burger, you wouldn't eat the burger?
Yeah, that's not a sin, that you have to survive. It clearly states that.
So is eating junk food a sin?
If you're doing it for pleasure, yes.
So you think everyone eats junk food because for pleasure? They don't eat because they're hungry. When you go to McDonald's, you go there for pleasure. You don't go because you're hungry. When you eat ice cream,
There's better alternatives. Why are 40% of Americans obese? Why are 40% of Americans obese?
Because there's not enough food, and so we have to rely on junk food.
No, because of capitalism, because it makes the rich people a lot of money for you to eat that.
Well, God is a capitalist.
Well, that's your... Anyways, let Andrea... I'm gonna go.
Is your God not a capitalist?
God is against usury, which is capitalism. It's a sin.
Is your God not a capitalist?
No, he's not. He's against usury.
What is capitalism?
Interest.
Hold up. God is against using people?
Usury, so interest.
God is against
interest?
Hold up. God is against interest?
Yeah, it's a sin. It's a sin to use interest because it's an easy way to make money off of people's backs. It's not a sin in the Torah though. Jews use interest.
So you're saying that your God is against making profit?
Off of people's backs, so slavery. Yes.
No. Profit. Interest is the way that a person who loans money to other people makes profit. That's a business.
Yeah,
that's how they earn a living. If I have $100 and you need $100, I also need my $100. I just don't need it right now. You want me to just give you that $100 and not make no profit out of it?
What if you could print the money? You have control over the printer, and you could give money as you wish to people and charge interest on them. They have no printer. Is that not bad now?
Okay, but that would be the same thing as God having the ability to give everybody eternal life, but he doesn't give everybody eternal life unless you believe
He
in
has.
him.
He has given us eternal through heaven.
Do we have eternal life without believing in God?
Yeah, you can have it. You can have it.
No, without believing in God.
That's between you and God.
No. Based on your religion and your belief, can a person have eternal life without believing in God?
No, because that doesn't make sense. Can you?
Okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to loan you my money without
Can
interest.
you come to Earth if you never had a mother?
It doesn't make sense for me to loan you my money
Could
without
you have
charging
come
interest.
to Earth if you
So
didn't have a mother?
charging interest is not a sin. It's only a sin from the perspective of a person
But
who doesn't understand the world.
If you believed you never had a mother, would you be able to? Would it make sense for you to be on Earth? No, you need to have a mother, right? You need to believe in a mother.
Hold up.
God.
Did Adam have a mother?
God created them.
You just said to me that I need to have a mother and I have to be on earth. Was Adam a human being?
Yeah, but you're not Adam.
Was Adam a human being? That's a question.
Yes, he was the first human.
So you're saying it's possible that human beings can exist without having mothers, right?
If God wants you to.
If God wants you to.
If God wants you to.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to loan you my money without interest.
If God wants you to.
No, it's possible that human beings can exist without having mothers, right?
Yeah, if God wishes.
Regardless of what God wants or God doesn't want, that's not my question. My question
In your logic,
is it possible that a human being can exist without having a mother?
no. But you believe that you came from nothing, out of random. So your mother was created out of randomness. You believe that?
Stop deflecting. Is it possible that a human being can exist without having a mother? That's what I asked you.
No, the average human has a mother.
That's what I asked you.
Yeah, and I've told you that. So do you believe that your mother came from randomness?
That has nothing to do with my question.
No, because you are laughing at me at something you believe in. You believe in that yourself, and you're laughing at me. Let Andre up. I'm gonna go now. Let Andre up,
Say that again. What do I believe in?
You are laughing at me for something you believe in. You believe you came from random, something completely random. So technically, your maternal lineage, your mother's lineage, at one point was something completely random and not human.
When did I tell you that I believe that?
I've asked you where did the universe come from and Earth. You said you don't know. And you said it could be anything random.
If I say I don't know, what does that mean?
That means in your head it could be anything.
What does I don't know mean?
I don't know means it could. The answer could be anything. Basically, if I find out.
So I don't know.
If I don't know how this food is made, it could be any
I don't
ingredient.
know. So I don't know doesn't mean that I don't have the answer. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah, if you don't know, you don't have the answer. If you don't know what 2 times 2 is, you don't have the answer.
Okay, so if I don't know what if you ask me what 2 times 2 is and I say I don't know, that means that I think it could be anything.
Yeah, it could be 10, it could be 4, it could be 20 in your opinion.
Is there a formula for how to multiply 2 times 2?
There's loads of formulas.
Okay. Can 2 times 2 be equal to 0?
According to maths, no.
Okay, good. So even if you ask me what 2 times 2 is and I don't know, it would not mean that it could be anything because I already know it can't be 0. That I know.
Yeah, but a kid wouldn't know that.
I'm not a kid.
Why wouldn't a kid know?
I'm not a kid.
Yeah, but see, it doesn't matter. The kid is a human, no?
I'm not a kid.
Yeah, but still, there's adults that wouldn't know. You're looking at everything at a very personal.
This is two different levels.
You're
of
analyzing
mental,
everything so personally.
This is 2 different levels of mental maturity, and the way my mental maturity and yours works will be significantly different from that of a kid. So we correspondingly have that conversation, taking that into consideration.
But you analyze everything individually. You look at everything from your own perspective only.
Yes, but my perspective cannot be independent from the objective reality of things, which
there could be adults that could have. Some adults would have agreed with me. Yeah, if they never knew what 2 times 2 is, they might have guessed any answer.
Yes, that would mean that
if they've never been taught maths.
Listen. What I'm trying to teach you is that I don't know doesn't mean that the person is claiming it could be anything. It literally means what it says.
Okay, so what could it be? What could be the creation of the universe?
That's the point. I don't know.
So if you don't know, what does that mean? Define it.
That means I don't have any evidence that gives me the exact answer. I don't know. So I'm not going to guess. You are guessing. You cannot deal with the fact that you don't know. So you make an educated guess, but your guess is not testable. There's no analysis. There's no experimentation. You don't theorize. You just run with it and you make it a law. You literally make your hypothesis a law without following the rest of the scientific process.
Okay, you said you know that 2 times 2 is definitely not 0. So if you don't know that what made the universe, could it have been random?
Yes.
There you go. So random means anything. What does random mean?
No, random means that random simply means it's completely void of intent, but it can still be orderly. Something can still be orderly even if it's random.
Random could mean anything depending on the situation.
Random
on the stairs, random could mean up and down.
Hold on. Before you go, let me teach you. Okay. In fact, let Meta teach you. Hey, Meta, what does the word random mean?
The word random refers to something that happens or is chosen by chance, without a specific pattern or predictability. It can also describe something that seems unrelated or disconnected from what's happening around it.
Can something randomly be orderly?
Let's see. Yes, something can be both random and orderly. Randomness can create patterns and order through processes like chaos theory or fractals. Order can emerge from randomness, like the arrangement of leaves on a stem or the branching of trees.
Repeat that again. That order can emerge from randomness?
Order can emerge from randomness through natural processes like chaos theory or fractals. Randomness can create patterns, like the arrangement of leaves or branching of trees. This is known as emergence, where complex systems exhibit unexpected order.
See?
Yeah,
Seems like you're the one who's not
That
smart.
doesn't say anything. He's talking about like the ecosystem, the Amazon rainforest.
Hey. The point is, randomness can create complex, orderly patterns. So if you ask me, you asked me where the universe came from, right? I said I don't know. So you asked me, is it a possibility that it could be random? I said yes, because randomness does have the ability to create orderly patterns. But I'm not emphatically saying it's random. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. My real
So
answer
the
is that I
orderly
don't
pattern
know.
created human beings.
Are human beings a part of the natural order?
Yeah, because it's an ecosystem, but look, the water, listen, water had to come before the human, right?
Stop wasting your time. You're trying to
Look,
make details about
could
something
the
that's already
human
been
have come
answered.
before
The
water?
point is that randomness can create complex patterns, and there's no limitation to how complex
Okay.
the patterns of randomness can be. There's no limit.
There you go. Okay, so could the human have come before water?
I don't know.
No, we can't. We need water to survive. So if we had to come after water on
I
Earth,
don't know.
so you could survive without water?
Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, there you go. See, I caught you.
You didn't
But
catch
Andrea,
anything. You didn't catch anything
I did. I
because,
asked you.
like I
Could the
said,
human come
do
before
you
water?
notice? Do you notice how you keep moving the goalpost? Imagine that we're
No,
talking
because
about
we're
randomness.
talking about order.
No.
We're talking about order.
No. You see how we're talking about randomness
Yes.
giving birth to the emergence of order. And order
Yes.
in this context is complexity. It doesn't matter which perspective you look at. There are some things that are orderly that we already understand how they come about to be orderly. There are some things that are orderly that we can definitely see are random. And then there are some things that are orderly that we don't know if it came about intentionally or randomly. We're still researching. So if you're going to tell me, if you're going to tell me about something, we know that human beings need water. We understand that order already. There's some other complex things that we don't understand. So you're making two false equivalencies to escape from the fact that your whole narrative is that randomness cannot give birth to order. You're trying to just make us forget that that's what you were claiming. You cannot, rather than just say, I was wrong, you try to deflect, you try to laugh, you try to be hysterical. Listen. The point is that randomness can give birth to order. So it's not conclusive that God created the universe unless you have empirical evidence.
So why did we not come before water?
I don't know. I did not make it. And I'm not the randomness that brings about the natural order.
Look, don't destroy your eternity for something temporary.
Whether there's eternity or not doesn't matter to me. The only thing that matters to me is one moment at a time. I live my life one moment at a time. I'm not delusional, bro. Don't you know that
your life could be eternal. Your life could be eternal.
The past is what was. The future, the past is what was and is no more. The future is what could be, but is not yet. The present is what is and continues. So life.
In your opinion,
life is in the present, which is and continues.
I think you're wrong.
You should live your life. You should live your life presently and continuously. Don't live your life in imaginary futures that there's no guarantee that it's gonna happen.
Of time. I think, in your analysis, time is a straight line. I personally think it's a flat circle. And
I did not define time. Stop moving the goalposts. I did not define time.
We live in the past,
I did not define time. I did not define time. Don't move the goalposts.
You did.
Stop doing that.
You said it's in the past.
Bro, why can't you keep your attention on one point?
No, we live in the past, present, and the future at the same time.
I said to you, the past is what was, but is no more. The future is what could be, but is not yet. The present is what is and continuous. So regardless of if you're moving linearly or you're moving circularly or you're moving zigzagly, as long as there's some form of progression, you're going to have a past, you're going to have a present, you're going to have a future.
That's in your own analysis, but in the universe, it's not like that. The time is a flat circle. You already live, the future is already happening as the present is and as the past is. It's not a straight line that you walk on the road. It's a flat circle and we all live in it. Anyways, put Andrew up. Take care.
Bro, I really feel sorry for you, bro. I genuinely feel sorry
That's
for you.
okay. Look, don't destroy eternity for something temporary. Put Andrew up. He said he's got one question.
It doesn't matter to me.
Andrew said he's got one question and he's going to take you down with it.
Listen, can you spend money you don't have?
With interest, with a loan,
Listen, right now.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Exactly. That's simple logic. Okay, so eternity that you're talking about is like you telling me, do not destroy your $1 million. I don't have $1 million. I don't have eternity. I'm mortal, bro. I know that I would die.
You could have $1 million.
Listen. I know that I would die. So I take that into consideration. I don't live my life assuming as though somehow I'm going to keep living. That's stupid. Now, if you choose to live that way, good for you.
You won't have $1 million, no?
Say that again?
You try to make $1 million. Most people do, no? Even though they don't have it. They live to have $1 million.
Not specifically $1 million.
Yeah, but people work and live to make that money, right? To make as much money as they can so they can...
There you go.
So why don't people do that?
Now you're correct. There's no specificity because someone else can put an effort to make $1 million and then another person has to put in the same exact effort or even more to make $1. Right, the effort that the CEO puts to make $1 million, sometimes the janitor puts in 10 times as much effort, and he doesn't even make $100.
Fair enough. Put Andrew up. He said he's got one question that will take you down.
Bro, take care of yourself and your mental health. Let me talk to this Andrew guy. You better live up to expectation and you better not be caught in your cognitive dissonance.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up?
How you doing? Okay, so I want to start off with a simple question so far, right?
Oh, you can start by answering my question first, which I put on the screen.
No, I'd like to ask you a quick question. Just something simple.
No. I would like for you to first follow the format of the show. Answer my question, and then if we go down the line, you can find room to ask your question. But start with answering my question.
Okay.
Question is on the screen.
Okay, why? Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say it. My bad. So why do I believe in God? Right. I'll try and make it as short as I can. Number one, personal testimony. Right. I don't go off what other people say. I used to be an atheist like you. Right. I've gone through quite a lot of different issues in my life. So I remember one night I came looking for God. I didn't really know which God to go for, right? Because, obviously there are so many gods and such. Are you even listening? Hello?
Keep talking.
I don't know. Why are you off screen, bro?
Because you're off screen. I can't see you.
But yeah, because I just woke up. I look a bit rough, bro.
Bro, if you really need to see me in order to speak, then I will probably also need to see you.
No, I just thought that there have been disrespectful people before. They just kind of ignore, That's why. Okay, so personal testimony, right? Like you're atheist, of course. And I used to be an atheist. I've gone through a lot of things in my life. And I chose one night to pray to God. Like I said, I don't know which God. There were so many and such. But I know that my grandma told me she grew up Christian. She doesn't bring it up. She doesn't talk about it. But I remember she told me once. So I prayed to God, and I prayed to God every single night for about 5 to 6 months until I've had my personal testimonies. I've seen things, I felt things, and you might just start to say, oh, you're hallucinating, you have problems. But when I first had this testimony and experience, I told my mother about it, and we went to a hospital so I could get myself checked out, because I couldn't believe it, right? I couldn't believe it. I thought I was losing my mind because I never grew up a Christian. I never listened to other people. It was just something that happened to me, correct? Like, it was something very supernatural, something different, something that's never happened to me before.
You mean you mean something unnatural?
Yeah, unnatural. Yeah. and I went to a hospital. I got checked for everything. I got blood tests, other tests which I won't say because they sound pretty silly. You know, like the downstairs area. I had every single test, like mental. I went to therapy, everything, and the only thing that I have is asthma, which I've had since I was born. That's the only issue I have. I personally don't think that could correlate to what I've seen and experienced. And I know that my personal testimony isn't enough for you to say, oh, yeah, there is a God now. But my question to you is, why do you think there are millions of people sharing their personal testimonies with no reward, no meaning, just for the pure, meaning to like spread the gospel and tell people what they've experienced? Why would I sit here and lie about a God? Why would I sit here and waste my time following these laws and rules if I fully 100% knew this was true? Like what I've gone through and what I've experienced, this moment I would die for Jesus Christ, this moment. And I don't care what anybody says. I respect everyone. It's okay that you don't believe. But the things I've seen and experienced, I would die for Christ right now, this moment. And I'm happy. I'm happy to go to heaven, and that's final. And I'm not a perfect human being. I'm still on a pretty harsh journey, right? I am still like pretty young. I only just turned 18. But the things I've gone through, the things that millions of people have gone through, it's magnificent. Like there are so many different testimonies. So what is your opinion on that? Why are so many millions of people always talking about their personal testimonies for no reason?
Because millions of people do have lower IQs and are not necessarily emotionally intelligent. So sometimes they experience emotional reactions that they're not able to distinguish between reality and what they are feeling. There's many
Okay,
things
so
there's an emotion. That's why I was saying in the beginning of my program, there's an emotional aspect to why people believe, right? Like what I feel like something should be and what that thing actually is two different things. I can know what I feel like something should be, but I can also know what something actually is, even if it contradicts what I feel like it should be. Now, emotional intelligence will be that I can separate that feeling and the results I get from that feeling from the actual reality and the actual means that are put in place to investigate actual reality. If I can separate both, then I can operate in the world intelligently. But if you are so persuaded by an emotional reaction, despite the lack of evidence empirically, that you now superimpose the conclusions you get from that emotional reaction upon the reality of the world, you make yourself not emotionally intelligent. So there's IQ and there's EQ. IQ will be
okay.
your ability to absorb information about real things, obviously, and process the information quickly, analyze the information, and come to logical conclusions. That will be your IQ. Your EQ will also be the same thing about your emotional intelligence, your ability to process emotions, understand them contextually, and understand what emotions are really telling you in effect rather than just superficially. This is how I usually put it this way. Your emotions tell you more about how your mind is working, but it doesn't tell you what your mind is doing. It just tells you your state of mind. So your emotions
Okay.
are telling you, like if someone makes you angry, what that tells you is that something has happened that has triggered an intense amount of thought in your brain that you're not able to process, and that enrages you. So that rage will be directly proportional to whatever it is that's causing it. Same thing about love, right? What love is telling you is that that person triggers a certain desire inside of you. That's different from what that person actually is. You know
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So
Now, empirical evidence would be, oh, you want proof that, oh, look, this person is actually what they say they are. No, what I feel like they are.
okay. So what does IQ and EQ have anything to do with what a person physically sees or experiences?
Okay.
Because like you mentioned, EQ is
Yes.
emotion, right?
Yes.
Sadness, such and
Yes.
such, and IQ is your level of intelligence.
Yes.
Right. So what does that have to do with physically seeing and experiencing in the moment?
Oh no, you do not physically see something. So
Oh, really?
anybody who has a supernatural experience must first and foremostly know that they're not physically seeing anything, That's literally the definition of supernatural. It's not physical. So
Okay, maybe it's not physical,
the
right?
moment you interpret it as physical or try to make it physical, then you have failed. Exactly like I claimed, right? It's now called delusional. You're now delusional.
Okay, so I'm delusional, right? With no records of me being any mental illness, right?
No,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
not
that makes sense.
necessarily what delusional means.
Okay, so that's not necessarily, which means what I saw
I'll
was
help you
true, and
understand
it
what
was physical.
delusional. Hey, Meta, what does
I know what delusional
mean?
is, brother. Don't worry.
No, hold up. I wanted to put a baseline. What does delusional
All right, let's get
mean?
Google's AI to tell me, bro. That's crazy.
Delusional refers to a person's thoughts or beliefs that are not based in reality. They may hold false or irrational ideas, often with strong conviction, despite evidence to the contrary.
Okay. What I'm saying to you
Okay.
is that if you are emotionally convicted that something is true, that's not the same thing as that thing actually being true. So emotional intelligence is when you can separate that emotional conviction from actual reality. That emotional conviction should help you discipline yourself. Like, it should help you know yourself. Yeah. That's valid. Well, we are in fact emotional beings as human beings. But that emotional conviction cannot tell you what the real world is.
Okay, but in the moment in prayer,
the real world can only be investigated and confirmed based on empirical evidence.
Oh, okay, so next time I should pray, I should have some people analyze and take photos, and right, so they can show you proof.
Prayer.
You do know? Wait, can you ask your Google
no.
AI what a personal testimony is? I don't think you know what that is.
Yeah, I could tell you what the personal testimony.
Okay, perfect. Because
I
you're confusing things there, brother.
I don't mind asking. Watch. It's not going to help you. Watch. Meta, what is the personal testimony?
A personal testimony is a first-hand account of a person's experiences, thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
or feelings. It's a unique and subjective perspective, often shared to inspire, educate, or provide insight into a particular event, challenge, or triumph.
What happens when a personal testimony cannot be validated by empirical evidence?
Interesting question. When a personal testimony can't be validated by evidence, its credibility is questioned. It may be seen as anecdotal, unreliable, or even fabricated. Corroboration from other sources or expert verification is often needed to establish its validity.
That's all I'm saying to you, bro.
So can I ask you something about that?
Sure, go ahead.
How could someone validate my personal testimony? Like I said, right? I said there was something physical. Maybe you're right, okay? Because I don't know what I felt in that moment or what I experienced, right? But I saw things, right? Which instantly makes me think there has to be something physical, right? What would me seeing something have to do with emotion, right? I'm not saying you're wrong, right? So far you sound pretty correct to me. But I'm just personally telling you what I experienced to me just tells me that this had to be an experience that was somewhat physical if I've seen, right? And I've felt, right? Like it wasn't an emotion, it wasn't sadness and I started hallucinating and tripping and seeing things around the sky. Like what I experienced was something out of this world, like you said. What did you call it? Supernatural, right?
Unnatural. But I help you
Unnatural.
out.
Okay.
Hey, Meta, is it possible that someone can be praying and in a moment of intense emotion, they begin
I didn't
to
feel
see
intense emotion. Wait, you can have to ask the AI something else.
Okay.
I didn't feel intense emotion. I was just praying. No, normal chill day. No
Emotional
emotions at all.
intensity can alter perception.
Okay. Hey, Meta, is it possible when someone is praying that they can begin to hallucinate?
Excellent question. Intense prayer can alter brain chemistry, leading to hallucinations. Research suggests prayer can activate brain regions like the default mode network, which can create vivid mental images. This can be misinterpreted as a spiritual experience.
Repeat that again.
I heard it, brother. I heard it.
Intense prayer can alter brain chemistry, leading to hallucinations. Research suggests prayer activates brain regions like the default mode network, creating vivid mental images that may be misinterpreted as a spiritual experience.
So I'm gonna let an AI tell me I was hallucinating, yeah?
I mean,
And wait, why'd you keep using AI? Why can't you talk to me, brother?
You shouldn't need the AI. Bro, it's not like you don't know what AI is.
Yeah, you shouldn't need the AI. You shouldn't need an AI.
No.
Bro, I don't trust. How can you trust an AI, bro? How can I trust that the people who have created this AI aren't antichrist? How can I sit there and think an AI is gonna tell me what I felt and what I haven't? And people saying mental health, bro, I went to a doctor to get myself checked out because I was an atheist before.
Hold up.
So, keep giggling, I guess.
Hey, Meta, are you Antichrist?
The term Antichrist
Oh, yeah.
refers
No. Meta, are you?
Why? You're so, bro, are you listening? Wait. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Bro, relax.
Are you listening? You're not listening.
I'm listening to you, but I'm obviously talking. So please.
I said the people that made the AI could be
Sorry to
Antichrist.
interrupt.
They could filter specific answers.
Hold up. Hey, Meta, the people who made you, are they Antichrist?
No, my creators are not Antichrist. They're a team of AI researchers, engineers, and developers working at Meta Platforms, Inc. Their goal is to create AI assistants like me to help and inform people, not promote any religious agenda.
So.
Oh, okay. So she can't promote any religious agenda. How is she doing that?
That's the point. Her job is literally to consolidate all the information that we've gathered on the internet.
All right, listen.
Regardless of
Since you're so based on AI.
Let me finish talking.
All right, finish.
Her job is to consolidate all the information that we have accumulated and present it to me in a verbal form, rather than me going literally to type on Google, which is an ancient form of doing shit, bro. Believe it or not, it's the same concept as an audiobook, right? You can take the hard copy of the book and read it, or you could just listen to someone read it. One person can read the book and everybody else just listen to it. You get the same information. That's how AI works. The fact that you're trying to say that...
Why did your AI say it can't promote agenda about religions, but it just did? That's contradicting. You instantly cannot trust that. You understand?
The information AI just gave us about hallucination is facts. It's backed by evidence and research.
But you asked about Antichrist and it said, no, my creators aren't Antichrist.
It alters brain chemistry, like intense prayer. Like, they've done research. When you're praying, the way your thought process begins to work, it actually alters your brain chemistry to the point where we actually have hold up, you know what?
Listen, wait.
Again.
Since you trust AI so much.
Listen to this again. Listen to this again. Hey, Meta, what do you mean by brain chemistry can be altered in a moment of intense prayer, so much that a person can begin to hallucinate and then confuse that hallucination for a spiritual experience? So what do you mean by there's an alteration in brain chemistry?
Excellent question. In intense prayer, neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins surge, altering brain chemistry. This can induce hallucinations, euphoria, or a sense of connection. The brain's default mode network, responsible for self-perception, can create vivid mental images, misinterpreted as spiritual experiences.
How do we know all this that you just told us? Is it just a belief, or is there any research associated?
Neuroimaging studies like fMRI and EEG have researched brain activity during prayer and meditation. Studies by researchers like Andrew Newberg and Mark Waldman have shown changes in brain chemistry and regions like the default mode network.
Okay. So can you ask your AI what is an intense prayer? Since I had no such thing as an intense prayer. Can you? Okay, no, don't even ask your AI. I'll ask you this personally, okay? Me laying on my bed on my back, hands together, and having a normal conversation with Christ. Not saying, oh God, please, I need that right now. Oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. Please save me. Me talking to Christ, right? And asking God questions and asking him to help me in a simple conversation. Is that intense prayer?
Don't interrupt me. Just listen carefully.
Okay.
First and foremostly, the fact that you don't know that you're not actually talking to a person, the fact that you don't know that you're actually just talking to yourself.
When did I say that?
Bro, relax.
You're just putting words in my mouth.
I said, let me finish.
All right.
The fact that you don't know that prayer in actuality is just you talking to yourself, regardless of how you choose to interpret how you're talking to yourself. It is not a conversation. You're not having a conversation with someone who's not responding to you in the same capacity. That's not called a conversation. You are talking to yourself. Now, while believing that you are talking to someone else, that alone already makes it intense. Just no matter how much... Listen. When you're praying, you're talking to yourself. But let's say you believe that you're actually talking to God. Just that alone makes that experience intense. Now, it can have benefits because I don't really think that there's anything bad talking to yourself, right? Like sometimes I self-reflect. Intelligent people self-reflect. We all self-reflect. Where I'm like, what should I do? Should I send this paper in right now, or should I send that paper in later? You know what? I'm not gonna send it in right now, right? Like you brainstorm. There's nothing wrong with that, but at least I know I'm brainstorming. But I'm not literally saying to myself, should I send that paper in? And then I'm waiting for someone else to respond. Okay, Jesus, you can respond anytime. You know what? I'm just gonna believe by faith that you want me to send that paper in. Nah, that's bullshit.
That's not how prayer works.
Listen,
Bro, you're tweaking. You misinterpreted.
In order for you to pray, hold up. In order for you to pray, you have to believe that someone is listening to you, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any proof that someone is listening to you?
My personal testimony, like I've mentioned.
No.
I don't have any pictures.
No. Outside of what you feel, your personal experience will be what you feel like is happening. But do you have any evidence in actuality that someone is listening to you?
First and foremost, the Bible, right? It shows us physically that Jesus Christ has walked on earth and has existed. Number 2, Shroud of Turin, physical proof of Christ, right? Such and such.
Those are all books. That's not proof. That's not proof.
I can't listen. Yeah, but brother, I can't let you sit there. I can't let you sit there, brother. You're asking me a question. You're saying, "Oh, how do you know someone's actually talking to you?" So I tell you my personal testimony. That's instant proof to myself. And then you're sitting there saying, "You can't use your personal." How can you tell me what I can and cannot use? That's proof to me.
Your personal testimony contradicts reality. It's a delusion.
Oh, contradicts. Okay, so I'm not in reality. Sorry, guys.
Hold on.
I'm not in reality right now.
Hey, Siri.
That's mental.
Meta. Can it be considered delusional when someone is praying, believing that they are talking to God, when in fact they're just talking to themselves?
Some researchers suggest that intense prayer can lead to self-deception or delusional thinking, as individuals may misinterpret their internal thoughts and emotions as external communications with a higher power.
In actuality, is prayer literally someone communicating with God, or is it just self-reflection and internal thought? Literally.
That's a thought-provoking question. Prayer's nature is debated. Some see it as communicating with God, while others view it as self-reflection, internal thoughts, or a psychological phenomenon. Neuroscience studies suggest prayer can alter brain activity, but doesn't prove divine communication.
Okay, so because we don't have scientific proof of prayer being an accurate conversation with Christ, that means it doesn't exist, yeah? It's all false, yeah?
Literally.
Just because scientists...
Literally, because we know that things are true because there's proof. If there's no proof,
so why are there millions of
testimonies?
Because millions of people just have brain damage, like you claim?
No, because you're self-deception. You're lying to yourself. Jesus,
how am I lying to myself?
Listen. Okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay,
when you prayed, what did you ask for?
Huh?
When you were having that conversation with Jesus, what did you tell him?
I was asking for my family's protection. I was asking to be reunited with my girlfriend.
Protection from what?
Protection from anything, like physical damage, spiritual battles.
And what did Jesus say when you asked him that?
What did Jesus say?
Yeah, what was his response? You said it was a conversation, right? No, you said it was a conversation. You didn't say
my days, but you're interpreting it the wrong way. No.
You didn't tell me that you were giving Jesus information. You say you had a conversation.
You're switching my words around. You're switching my words around.
Did you or did you not say you had a conversation?
Let me answer.
No. Did you or did you not say you were having a conversation?
I said normally when I pray to God,
no.
It is like
did you or
no.
did you not say you were having a conversation?
I'm telling you exactly what I said. I'm telling you exactly what I said.
Did you or did you not say you were having a conversation?
I said when I pray to God, I pray to God like a simple conversation, meaning my tone and my mental state isn't at an intense capacity, all right? It is like a chill conversation. And of course, Jesus Christ isn't saying, oh, hello, my child, welcome. Of course, I will grant you this. I ain't tripping, dog. When I mean a simple conversation, let me finish.
No. Listen, Andre, calm down. Breathe. Answer my question directly. You don't need to elaborate. You're going to give me extra information that is besides the point. The point is the conversational aspect of it. So let me ask you directly now so you can have another chance. Is prayer a conversation with Jesus? Yes or no?
It's a sticky one because I'm not really 100% like guided and informated. Like I haven't fully read the Bible yet, so I can't really sit here and answer your questions 100%. But for me, I feel like it's well, actually, no, I'll tell you this. All right, in the Bible is written that when you're praying, right, God can also answer with no, right, and no, not as in oh hello, no, right. He's not going to talk to you and you can hear him, but it's meaning of a no. Like if you pray for something, oh God, give me money, and God knows this money's bad for you, it's a no, right? And you at one point will acknowledge that point. You don't have to hear it physically, right? Same with other things. There's other answers like maybe, that's silly, and yes, right? My prayers have been answered before, and I didn't hear Jesus Christ tapping on my shoulder and being, child, your prayers have been answered, right? I have prayed for my grandma's well-being when she was like terminally ill, and she's healed fully now. She's fully healed. Yeah, and the doctors also told me, oh, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. Oh, it's a miracle. I wonder why it's a miracle. It wasn't my prayers since I'm so delusional and such a low IQ.
So let me ask you a question. What you're saying is it was because of your prayer that your grandmother got healed. How about the prayers that thousands of Christians have made for those children in Palestine, but they still died?
Well, there are people that have also made it alive, but that's not God's. Oh, you're one of those guys, aren't you?
No, listen.
Since God has given people, I'm answering. I'm answering.
Listen. I argue with you. Listen, bro. What I'm trying to tell you is that your prayer had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with your grandmother being healed. And if you at 18
you
years
can tell me
old,
that, sure.
If
Okay,
you
Dad.
an
Sorry,
18
Dad.
years
Yeah, you're
old, if you're an 18-year-old and not in touch with reality enough to know that, bro, someone has not just
Not in
fucked
touch
you
with
up.
reality.
Yes, you have to be.
Where am I? Where
delusional.
am I right now? I'm in
Listen,
reality right now. Where am I? Save me.
You think that you talk to yourself, and because you spoke to yourself, your grandmother got
I don't talk
healed.
to myself. No.
So when you were praying, who were you talking to?
Jesus Christ.
How do you know it was Jesus that you were talking to?
Because I was praying to Jesus Christ by name.
And how do you know
the name of
Jesus
the whole-
Christ? How do you know that Jesus Christ is hearing you?
Because my prayers have been answered. Hello? Are you hearing me? Hello?
Hold up.
Is your Wi-Fi good?
Hold up. Because your prayers have been answered, you know Jesus Christ was hearing you. So you only
because
knew
I
that
prayed to Jesus Christ.
Hold up. You only knew Jesus Christ was hearing you after your prayers got answered.
No, I always thought that Jesus Christ was hearing me, and listen. I prayed for 5 months straight. You're giggling, but listen.
Okay, hold
I
on.
told you, I prayed for 5 months straight.
Does Jesus
before my
always,
personal testimony,
does
right?
Jesus always listen to you?
Does Jesus always listen to me? No, but Jesus doesn't always answer.
Hold up. Does Jesus always listen to you when you pray?
Yep.
He always does?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you know that?
Bible.
Oh, so you just believe. No proof though.
Of course, that's what religion is, no belief.
Hold up. Is it possible to believe something even if you're wrong?
Say that again?
Is it possible to believe something even though you're wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you considered the possibility that Jesus doesn't listen to you all the time and you've wrongly believed?
No, because like I've mentioned maybe 5 times, he's answered my prayers. So.
No. The answered prayers implies that even while you're talking to him, you're not sure that he's hearing you until the prayer gets answered.
No. I'm sure. Listen.
Hold up. Obviously, you have more unanswered prayers than answered prayers in your life, don't you?
I know that when I'm praying, Jesus Christ is listening, but I know that all the time he isn't going to give me the answer that I want. Like if everyone prayed for everything they wanted and not what they needed, everyone would turn into greed and everyone would go back to sin in an instant. That's why all my prayers, they haven't been answered completely. Like I've also asked for money before, right? Before I even knew that money can lead to greediness, to being greedy and sin. And I was never answered that prayer. And that's what it is. I'm living life. I'm happy. I'm living in the moment. I'm a believer of Christ till I die, right? But when I prayed for my grandma's illness and I prayed like almost, 5 to 6 hours for like 2 or 3 days. And then she was healed just like that. Oh, hey, Andre, it was a miracle. It was a miracle. Oh, thank you, doctor. Wow, it was a miracle. I wonder what happened.
Or it was a coincidence.
Oh, my days, it was a coincidence. Yes. Oh, my God.
Do you know what a coincidence is?
Millions, tens of millions of coincidences.
Do you know? Listen, by the ratio of your answered prayers and your unanswered prayers, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Do you know that?
Don't know what that even means, but all right.
A broken clock is right twice a day. That means if the clock is stuck at 12 o'clock, it's gonna be 12 o'clock twice every 24 hours.
Okay, okay.
Anyways, okay. So by the ratio of how many prayers don't get answered compared to how many of your prayers do get answered, and the randomness of it, chances is the prayers you think were answered are most likely coincidences, because there's no definitive pattern. It's random. You're literally gambling. It's like you just
It's not
you win.
yeah, but it isn't random.
You're gambling.
It isn't random.
You're gambling. It's you're gambling.
What are you-
You're
what are you-
literally gambling. Yeah, you're gambling with luck.
This is the guy you guys listen to. I'm gambling, man.
It's literally the same principle as luck, right? So your grandmother is sick.
Luck.
Obviously, you're sad. That's natural. It's natural to be for any human being to be sad if their grandmother is sick.
Okay, right.
your
So you said it was a coincidence, yeah?
Your greatest desire is that your grandmother should be healed. So guess what? You do what you believe is prayer while hoping your grandmother will be healed. Now, let's say your grandmother never got healed, and you know what? I'm glad it didn't happen, but let's say she had passed away. Would you have said that Jesus answered your prayer?
I would say it was her time.
You see, you're in denial because
I'm not in denial.
No. Listen.
Let me answer. No.
Regardless,
Keep it quiet.
no.
Keep it quiet. Let me talk now. Keep it
Regardless
quiet. Let me
of
talk. You've been talking for like 10 minutes, bro.
regardless of if it was her time or not, the point is Jesus would not have answered your prayer. You're gaslighting me, like someone is saying in the comment section. The point
I'm
is,
gaslighting you, what?
Yes, if you
You're
would have
gaslighting
prayed,
me, bro.
if you would have prayed and it didn't happen the way you wanted it to be, that would be the equivalent of Jesus not answering your prayer.
Okay, let me answer now. For you will. All right, love it. So I prayed for my grandma, right? And she was healed, right? Doctors say it was a miracle and whatnot. Okay, nice, beautiful. You say it's coincidence because you're always going to live in denial since you're an atheist, all right? You're sitting there.
What was she sick of? What was she sick of?
Meta AI. Excuse me, Meta AI. Can you teach me this? Meta. You're going to live your life up to Meta.
What was your grandmother sick of?
You can't base your life on statistics.
Hey,
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question, bro.
What was your grandmother sick of? What was your grandmother sick of? What was your grandmother sick of?
Alopecia.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
I might be saying it wrong. It's like her skin was going yellow. I think it's like kidney failure or something like that, or liver failure. It was a while ago. I forgot.
So your grandmother had some type, let's just be very generic, of liver failure.
Yeah.
And you prayed. And her liver started working. Okay. The whole time she was sick, was she going to the hospital?
Would you say that again?
The whole time your grandmother was sick, was she going to the hospital?
Well, we found out a bit like later when she, like, there were early signs, right? But we kind of just gave her medicine and went to a family doctor. We never knew really. After about like 3 months, when her skin started to go like a very pale color, basically, that's when we took her to the hospital, and she stayed in the hospital for about a month, something like that.
So while she was in the hospital, did they give her any type of treatment?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are you familiar with the different types of treatment they give people for kidney issues?
No.
Okay. Bro, which one is more of a miracle? That your grandmother had a kidney issue, and let's say perhaps, hold up. Before she was healed though, what were the doctor's conclusions? What were the
doctor's conclusions?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They told me that she had like I can't remember if it was kidney or liver, one of them, right? That it was failing and she didn't have long left. She had about like 5-6 months left. There was some treatments though that we weren't able to afford. Like same with cancer, you know, like chemo is expensive and such. It was pretty similar case. Like,
okay, chances is there was a level of error made in the diagnosis, but there's also chances that her system was strong enough to make use of whatever treatments were already been given to her. Now, let's say that your grandmother was at home, and let's say she went to the hospital, they diagnosed her with the liver thing or the kidney thing, and then she came home and just stayed at home. No treatment whatsoever. And then you prayed and she got healed. That would even be more reliable than you telling me that she's in the hospital the whole time getting treatment. And then eventually, in time, because it wasn't instantaneous, was it instantaneous to where like all of a sudden her liver was perfectly fine?
Well, like I said, my grandma was in the hospital for around 1 to 2 months, right? I prayed for her for 2 days, and after those 2 days, whilst her kidney was still failing, whilst the doctors never told me she's getting better. A doctor should know that, no, Mr. Statistics?
Not always.
A doctor should tell me, hey, your grandma's getting better.
Not always.
Not always.
But
Okay, not
doctors,
always. Anyways, even if
sometimes
it's
a
not
person's
always,
body can
even if
be
it's not
healing, but
always.
the signs are
Oh my
not
days,
yet
bro! I can never
evident.
talk. All right. So I prayed 2 days, right? About 6 to 7 hours every day, right? And literally a day later. So basically, the third day after that, the doctors were like, "Oh, it's a miracle. Like it was healed, and she's able to go back home now and such. And if there are any signs in the future, then you should come back for checkments and stuff." Like,
Let me ask you something. Were they gonna be able? Let's say you guys were able to afford it. Could they have done a kidney transplant?
I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a fucking miracle, bro. Use your freaking brain. Like
What?
being young
All
is
right,
not.
wait. I
Listen,
have one
listen,
question.
listen, bro.
I have one other
Listen,
question.
bro. Listen, bro. It's far more miraculous that a freaking doctor can take a kidney out of a freaking human being and put in another one. Anything less than that is not that impressive, bro.
If that happened, I would obviously
Anything less than that
If
is
that
not impressive.
happened, I wouldn't call it a miracle, buddy.
Listen. It is far more impressive to take a kidney, for a human being to remove a kidney from another human being and put in another one. Anything less than that standard is not that impressive. So if you actually had the medical knowledge of the different processes, let's say you went to med school, you're a doctor, and you understood the different intricacies involved, you might be more educated to understand that, okay, this is naturally possible. It's naturally possible for doctors to misdiagnose people, and people make recoveries when otherwise they were thought to have died. That's why there's consistent research. It's not like we've mastered it all.
Okay.
But describing it as a miracle,
I agree with you. If my grandma got a kidney transplant or a liver transplant, then like I wouldn't even call that a miracle. Like I'm gonna pray for the person that gave this up, and I'm going to be thankful for that. I'm going to be thankful for that person and the family and the decisions, right? I'm not going to sit there and be delusional. That's delusion at that point. If someone gave my grandma a kidney for her to heal and I'll go, oh, this was God. That's delusion, right? Because I physically know that someone took their time out of their day to help her. And I know you're going to say, oh, similar to the doctors. But when the doctors told me, hey, it's a miracle, then instantly that gives me even more, belief that, this has to be Christ.
I'm pretty sure the doctor did not mean miracle in the same way that you think miracle.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure the doctor did not mean miracle in the same way that you think miracle.
Okay, so there's different types of miracles.
Yes, miracle can be used metaphorically to say something unprecedented, something that we did not expect, even if that thing is naturally possible. For example, right, like if I win the lottery, I can say it's a miracle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's just straight up luck. And right.
Let's say before I go, can you tell me what year is it? What year are we in?
According to the Gregorian calendar that we follow, it's February 9th, March 9th, 2025. Why?
All right, 2025 years after what?
Common Era.
Common Era, yeah. Are you sure? Ask AI. Ask your AI real quick.
Before Common Era.
She's scared to. You're too scared to ask Mrs. Meta, bro.
Hold up.
It was after Jesus Christ's birth, bro. Come on, bro.
Come on, relax. I don't think you understand. You see, that's why I said, listen, part of it is because you're young, so I will not straight up just insult you. Yes, of course, when the Roman Catholic
Thank you for the roses. Sorry.
When the Roman Catholic Church was the most influential government or had significant influence on government, bro, the calendar we literally use is a religious calendar. So it's only natural that when they had influence, they'll label everything religiously according to their mythological character, Jesus Christ. But guess what? Okay. The world has become more secular. So in schools, they've actually changed it. You should know that. It's no longer
in
before
school, they've changed it. So what year are we in, bro?
We are in the year 2025 before Common Era. No.
It wasn't before Common Era. It was never before Common Era. It was after the birth of Jesus Christ. Pay attention in history class. Pay attention in history class.
Listen, I made a mistake.
Because it was after the birth of Jesus Christ.
I made a mistake.
It's fact. It's proven. Cry about it. And ask Meta right now. Ask her, please. I'm begging you, brother. Ask her.
Okay, shut up and let's ask.
Okay.
Hi, Meta. So when we say BCE, what does that mean?
Hey, asking wrong questions.
BCE stands for Before Common Era. It's equivalent to BC, before Christ, but in a more neutral, non-religious context. It's used to denote the years before the start of the Anno Domini era, which begins with the traditionally reckoned year of Jesus Christ's birth.
No, ask her.
Listen,
I said ask her.
young
Why are
man,
we in the year 2025? 2025
Andre,
years after
Go
what?
ahead.
Ask her that.
Andrew,
Andrew?
you realize that there is
Yeah, me
religious.
matter.
Do
Answer.
you know that there is religious and non-religious perspective to things, right?
Yeah, there's some perspectives though.
You know that there is religious and non-religious perspective to things, right?
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. But when we're talking about this,
Listen, Andrew,
historically proven, it's after the birth of Jesus Christ.
Andre, do you
Oh my days, bro. Pay
realize?
attention in history class, please, bro.
Do you realize you just got roasted by an AI?
Nah, I didn't get roasted, bro.
What does BCE mean in a non-religious context?
Before something, I forgot.
You can't even remember what you just heard 2 minutes ago.
No. Let me think.
Thank you for
You're
your
putting me on the
time, my
spot.
brother.
You're putting
Go
me on
and
the
get a
spot,
nap.
bro.
Thank you for
You're
your
putting me on the
time,
spot,
brother.
bro.
Go and sleep.
No, you're putting me on the spot, bro.
Go and sleep. Go and sleep. Thank you for your time. No, it's okay.
Bro. Yeah,
It's
you're wrong.
okay,
You're wrong,
Andre.
bro.
It's
Keep
okay,
denying
Andre.
Christ, little
Go
boy.
to sleep. You can't even remember what you just heard 1 minute ago. Like she literally said it. In a non-religious context, BCE is before Common Era. In a religious context, it's before Common Era, but she's very detailed about it. In fact, let me ask it again, okay, so you guys can learn. Meta, what does BCE mean? What does BCE mean?
BCE stands for before Common Era. It's equivalent to BC, marking the years before Jesus Christ's birth, but in a neutral, non-religious context.
What do you mean by neutral, non-religious context?
A neutral, non-religious context refers to a way of expressing time that's not tied to a specific faith or tradition. BCE/CE avoids referencing Jesus Christ, making it more inclusive and respectful of diverse beliefs and cultures.
There you go. You know what that man just said? He said Antichrist. So if someone says something and they don't say it from the religious perspective, that's automatically Antichrist for you. When you have that kind of shallow-minded perspective on the world, how do you not expect to be gullible? No one is saying that BC cannot mean before Christ. It can mean before Christ. Yes, true. From a religious perspective, specifically from a Christian religious perspective. Not from a Muslim perspective. Not from a Jewish perspective. Not from a Hindu. Only Christian traditional religious perspective. But when you're talking about everybody in the world, we will do a neutral before Common Era. And there are different calendars around the world. You're correct, Stoic. The Chinese calendar doesn't follow the Common Era or after Common Era or before Common Era. It doesn't. EBU. Someone said in Ethiopia, it's 2015 right now. They're just numbers. Calendars are just numbers. We make those calendars. Human beings make those calendars. It's not an objective truth as a matter of fact. It's subjective to whatever culture and tradition makes the calendar. Hello. Hello, Mr. Good Day or Mrs. Good Day, whoever you are. All right, next guess. Nice. Perfect timing. You guys have perfect timing.
My brother,
Cindy,
how are you now?
I'm all right.
Yeah, well, like I've always said, when a believer meets with an intellectual, it's like a meeting between a madman and a wise man. It will never end in agreement. You see, I've always said it. Now, one is coming from the perspective of knowledge, and the other is coming deliberately from the perspective of faith.
I like that. I like that. I like that you use the word deliberately because the religious
Yeah,
person also has the ability to come from the perspective of knowledge.
yes, yes. And you see, because it's deliberate, you are just going to be stressing yourself because it's like you are talking to someone who inwardly knows that you are making sense. But on the other side, because of some, intentional, you know, act, they they have decided that no, you know what? I still feel this thing, even if I cannot prove it. No, I feel it. I feel it,
Right.
and
They choose to go with what they feel so much that something inside of them makes them intentionally ignore what is actually real that can be proven. And they don't know that both can coexist. That's where emotional intelligence comes in. That's where compartmentalization comes in. You can validate your feelings within yourself about what you think and what you feel. But you can
exactly.
also be smart enough to identify the reality of the world as it is, independent of what you feel.
That's right. But where I have issues with the believers, like myself, and I know that is still a conundrum to you.
No, it's not. No, no,
Yeah,
no. It's not a conundrum to me that you can be a believer and still
yeah,
rationally be able to understand what makes a believer a believer. That's why, in fact,
that,
you're a perfect example for me to teach these believers that I'm not insulting you or hating you. I'm not even
yeah.
invalidating your religious beliefs. I'm just telling you that there is such a separation that you
Yeah,
must have the wisdom to compartmentalize so you can skillfully remain relevant. The
that's right.
moment when you crisscross both, you're fucked.
Exactly. You can't be a believer and claim to know God. It's a contradiction. Because if you know God, you are not going to be a believer.
That is
So,
why those of us who say we don't believe, we know
yeah,
God. We know that
that's
God is a man-made character, and we accept God as that. We don't
that's
have
right.
a problem with God being a man-made character. And if God is a man-made character, that means every man is entitled to make a God for themselves. There's
Because
no
the
offense.
moment, yeah, it's no offense, because the moment you claim to be a believer, you have already ruled yourself out from being able to explain it or
Exactly.
rationalize it. But
Facts.
if you try to turn around to say, okay, I want to explain my God, then you will be in a serious trouble because you are going to be contradicting yourself. And that's why most believers who you have been speaking to so far have always contradicted themselves and found themselves in murky water. Because what they are trying to say contradict their belief themselves. So it's actually, you know, this is, I don't know why they find it difficult to understand that when they pray, they have to accept that in the eyes of reality, they are mad.
You know what?
They
It
have to
doesn't.
accept
It does. It doesn't. I don't like because I'm talking to
because
you. I don't even have to be that mean. So like, they need to simply acknowledge that that experience is only going to be valid from their perspective, and anyone else who tries to validate that experience is either doing it just out of respect, or they themselves are also mad.
Yeah.
Because if you told me you had a dream last night, it's not my job to sit here and argue with you if you actually had a dream or not. It's not even a subject
That's
of
right.
argument. You tell me your dream, I'm like, oh, nice dream. Now, whether I believe that you had a dream or not, I don't even need to bring it up. Because you are already smart enough to
Remember,
know that it's not a matter of belief or disbelief.
remember what I said, that it will be difficult to punish unbelief. It if one would have to be sincere, it will be difficult to punish unbelief. Now, when you look at it, I mean, is it a crime that God has created us the way, I mean, to rationalize and to ask questions? And if it's not there and you don't accept it because it's not there, if it is there, you accept it. It is there because you can feel it, you can see it, you can touch it. Now, that is why it's difficult to call it a sin if someone is asking for proof. In the same Bible, Philip asked for proof. Philip asked Jesus for proof. He said, show us the Father. Why didn't Jesus say, Philip, you are damned to hell for asking for proof? It's there in the Bible.
Even Thomas said, I wouldn't believe it until I touch it myself.
Exactly.
What did Jesus do in the book? He stretched out his hand so Thomas could touch,
Yes.
right? So just logically, if we were to look at it logically, the only person who would have known for a fact that Jesus Christ actually was a real and that he wasn't hallucinating would have been Thomas, because he didn't just see, he touched him. He validated.
That's right.
He validated that experience with more than one of his senses. With his sense of sight and his sense of touch. So everybody else can say, well, we saw Jesus. Everybody else can be like, we saw Jesus. Yeah, we saw him. But Thomas would be like, I touched him.
He even asked them to give him fish, and he ate. He ate fish in front of them.
I wonder if he digested the fish he ate. I wonder if he went and took if he excreted, if he defecated. Because if Jesus Christ resurrected and he was able to eat fish, I'm pretty sure he had to go take a shit at some point before he ascended to heaven, because there's no toilet in heaven.
Unfortunately, this is not a laughing, Bakanga, let's not laugh. But to be honest, they need to wake up to this reality that belief is about accepting something they cannot prove, something that is not sensible, but you are accepting it. You have to accept that what you believe in is something you cannot explain. Until they've woken up to that reality, they will continue messing about. And that's my submission.
It's a matter of honesty. You should never believe in something so strongly that it makes you dishonest.
Right.
Because no one is telling you that you shouldn't believe. What we're telling you is that don't be dishonest about what you believe. Now,
that's right.
We're not even talking about you being dishonest towards other people, towards yourself. Because
that's right.
If you believe in something which is not real, as though it's real, that would then affect how you really treat people. That is why a Christian will see a Muslim as an antichrist, even if that Muslim was the best human being ever, simply because that Muslim said Jesus is not God. So the moment a Muslim says to a Christian Jesus is not God, that Christian automatically has to view that Muslim from a negative perspective about something that they both can't prove. So I say there is no God, and you can't imagine how many people listening to me right now look at me from a negative perspective.
Yeah. Action and reaction are equal but opposite. Majority of them do not know that it is the same definition they are making as someone saying, oh, God is not. and the other person saying God is. It is the same. It's just it's just that one is saying, look, in the past, God had shown evidence and proofs. Why has he stopped? Does it mean God is no longer existing? This is a valid question.
You know what is so
You know,
sad, my brother, on that point you just made?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just that God used to show signs in the past, it's that all the gods of all the religions, and all of a sudden, it's not just the Christian God who doesn't show signs anymore. Now, even the Muslim God, even the Hindu gods, right? Gods that are completely different. In the past, you go to the Hindus, they will tell you about all the miracles and the great things their gods used to do in the past. But all of a sudden, in 2025, their gods don't do it anymore. You go to the Christian will tell you how his God split the Red Sea. And then all of a sudden, in 2025, his God can't even split the goddamn Mississippi River. Right? You go to the Muslim says their God split the moon. But their God could not split the war in Iraq. Their God could not split the F-35 and the F-18 that the Americans were using to bomb them.
I have an answer to that, Bakanga. You see, you cannot explain God as a believer. You have to be a knower to be able to explain something. So all believers should accept that what they believe in is something they are not sure of, but they have decided to accept it by faith, not by knowledge. And that will make life easier.
So much
You
easier.
get what I mean?
Because you have nothing to prove. Because that would now then put you in a position where you have nothing to prove. Because you're neither claiming to be right and you consider the possibility that you could be wrong. If you come up with that perspective, then if you go to a Muslim as a Christian to tell them the good news of Jesus Christ, you will be equally receptive to the Muslim when he tells you about the good news of Muhammad. But
another point,
you notice that the Christian will be very eager to tell the Muslim about the good news of Jesus Christ. But the Christian will not sit down with the same level of patience and attention and listen to the Muslim tell him about the good news of Muhammad. Why?
another, yeah, that's true. Another point is that both good and evil cannot be coming from two separate sources. And this is very, very critical. Unless if there are two gods opposing each other. You see, I don't like to go into this because it's going to expose a lot of things about belief, and religiosity. And I don't want to, you know the sentiment I have there. Why I don't want to go.
Bro, I don't think that is really a big problem. I think that we Africans had already figured this out. And I think that human beings indigenously had already figured that out. That is why outside of the Abrahamic religion, there's not really too much evangelization involved with all the other types of religions in the world. Right? So the Yoruba man and the Hausa man and the Fulani, the Egyptian, the South African. The Egyptian did not go out of his way to travel to South Africa to tell him about his god Ra or Horus. The Egyptian knows that the South African has his own god. Now imagine a world in which the Egyptian now says, well, my God is the only God. I have to go tell everybody that my God is the only God and tell them that their God are false gods. Because I said so. Because me and my people say so. And that is the discrepancy that puts those who believe in the Abrahamic gods in a disadvantage. Because they simply want everyone else to take their word for it. And in the past, they were so fanatic that they will even give you the option of you either believe in a God or you die. These days, they cannot threaten you anymore, so they just threaten you with all kinds of negative things like, you're going to burn in hellfire if you don't believe in my God. When they themselves don't have any guarantee other than how they feel. You know what you need to get your gods to do one of these days? Have your gods open the portal in the sky so we can see the angels dancing in heaven. You wouldn't need to convince anybody. Tell God to open the sky for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Huh? Half of the human race will look up, they will see the angels dancing in heaven. Eating ice cream. Around rainbows. If I look up in the sky and I see Angel Michael dancing and eating ice cream, I'll believe.
That's the fantasy, All right, I need to go because I've been for too long in the queue.
No. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo,
You may
can you hear me?
proceed. Yeah.
All right. I just want to say I'm on your side about this. Like, I do not believe in any of it because I don't think there's enough proof for anything. And I don't think you should believe something that some dude wrote a book about and just go off some random book that some dude wrote and think that it's true.
How do you think someone should look for truth then? What will make something true?
Like, evidence. You have to have, like, physical evidence. You can't just, say, hey, there's this book that somebody wrote. I'm going to go off this and just believe.
I agree with you too. And I think you're saying what I'm saying, especially when you say that we need physical evidence. Now, in a situation where someone has a belief, but they don't have physical evidence, but they don't require you to believe it, can you respect that person?
Yeah, I can respect that person.
And I think that's what we're telling that's what we're telling religious people. We respect that you believe what you believe. But we're not gonna believe what you believe because you have no proof. And I think that's where they find a problem. That's where they have a problem. Because for some reason, they can believe in an imaginary God, but they cannot conceive in their mind that other people won't believe them and their personal experiences in the absence of proof.
Yeah, like, I've lost a lot of friendships over people who just can't fathom the fact that I won't believe. And then I'm telling them, hey, I'm okay with you believing, but there's just no physical proof, so I don't want to believe. Because I don't want to believe in a fairy tale.
It's because those people are not really your friends. Let me tell you something. Someone who ceases to be your friend simply because you ask them to prove a claim they make and they cannot persuade you was never your friend to begin with. You were just their customer. So the moment you make it clear that you're not going to buy what they're selling, they have no use for you. That is why there's really no real friendships in the religious world based on the religious ideologies. Someone cannot be your friend just because they're a Christian. If you think you're friends with someone just because you both believe in God, you're greatly mistaken. Because the moment you tell that person that you don't believe, they won't be your friend anymore. Because now you guys are not working for the same team anymore. You're not selling the same product. But naturally, should that be? Of course not. You and I can still be friends if you are a basketball player and I'm a football player. We both play sports. We just play different sports. I can play your sport, you can play my sport. But imagine a situation where you're telling me that, well, I'm not going to play football with you, but you have to play basketball with me. And if you don't play basketball with me, we're not going to be friends. That's exactly what it's like in the religious world. It actually hinders human relationship. It hinders our growth as a common race. It hinders how much we understand each other. It hinders our love for one another. It hinders our kindness for one another. Because we associate our relationship with each other based on fictitious beliefs that shouldn't even be a subject of argument. If a Muslim is okay with a Christian being a Christian, and a Christian is okay with a Muslim being a Muslim, then there is so much more that we have in common beyond just religious beliefs.
Yeah. And one of the main problems I have with some religious people is they say, oh, God says to love everybody, but then they hate on people for not having the same beliefs of them instead of loving them like they're told.
That's because their religion is fundamentally contradictory. Even if their God told them to love everybody, If their God then tells them to go and hate somebody, they will still do it without considering that God already previously told them to love everybody. Right? It's like someone who said, I would totally die for Jesus. Why would you die for Jesus if Jesus already died for you? Why are you even defending your God as though he can't defend himself?
Yeah.
If you understand that, listen, regardless of which God you believe in, take my word for advice, y'all. It is not your job to convince people. It's not. You don't even have to share. It's not your job to go around evangelizing, spreading the gospel. The people who have persuaded you that you need to take that religious belief that you've been persuaded by and go and spread it are people who have created a pyramid scheme. It's a scam. You're being scammed. You're literally just a customer in that system. Somebody invented a God and merchandised it. And you're one of the salesmen. You're just a salesperson for a product you didn't even invent, for a product you don't even profit from. You're helping somebody else build their business. Those who benefit the most from religion are those who are at the top. That's why my advice to you is, if you're a Christian, you want to benefit from Christianity, go and open your own church. At least you can make money. At least you can make money. What's the point of you being a Christian if all you're going to do is go every Sunday and literally make sure that somebody has a consistent string of income? If God is so good, why can't the pastors just go to God directly and ask for money? Why do they need you to contribute?
Yeah.
It's a pyramid scheme. It has very, 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 very huge economic benefits. That's why you can imagine a woman can be in a church for 20 years and she literally pays her tithes and her offering. But the day that she cannot pay her rent, her first instinct will not be, oh, let me go to the church and ask them to help me pay my rent this month. If that was the case, churches would be broke. Because there's people in the church that need money from the church that the church won't be able to afford. That's why the churches don't even offer it. And if they do, they only do it to specific people, their friends and families. If the church was responsible for taking care of the bills of their members, the bills their members can't pay, oh, hell no. It will almost be like something like Social Security. Anyone who's familiar with how Social Security works. While you're young and you work, the government takes a tax out of your paycheck called Social Security. When you become old, other young people will be working and paying into that Social Security, and then the government will give you a consistent amount of income every month, $2,000, $3,000, because you contributed your whole life. If the church was that way, it would be very beneficial. But the church is not that way. You know, this would be a very different story. There are some people in churches who can't afford to pay the school fees for their children to go to school. If you've been going to a church for 20 years and you can't afford to send your children to college, something is wrong. Your church should sponsor your kids a full ride scholarship. Your church should be able to pay all your hospital bills. Your church should be able to put food on your table when you can't. If your church can't do that, then you're literally being scammed, because they're giving you empty words that you can get without going to them. That's why you notice that the number of Christians in the world is not really increasing, even though there's a new church being opened every day, because in the religious world, it's literally buying and selling of customers. They're trying to take each other's customers. So when I open a church, it's not like I'm going to people who have never been Christians to get them to come to my church. No, I just go and get other Christians that are already going to different churches. I try to design. Think about it. When a new church opens in your neighborhood, it doesn't become full of people who didn't believe before. No, it's all people who were going to other churches. You take another man's customers. That's why you can go down the street. You see 10 churches, but they don't even talk to each other. Explain to me how you guys are all worshiping the same God, and yet you can have a street with 10 churches who don't talk to each other. Everybody wants to increase the number of their members.
Yeah, one of the other main themes is the fact that people can believe even though there is hundreds of different versions of the Bible, and then they criticize people for reading a different version. If the Bible's the truth, then why is there hundreds of different versions that speak different things?
It still follows the same logic of, well, if we all use the King James Version, then everyone will have to buy a King James Bible. And the people who write and print the King James Bible will make the most money. So guess what? I'm just going to take the King James Bible, edit it, make my own version. So I too can profit financially. Bible is big business, bro. Bible is big business. Bible is such big business. You don't even have to work hard to get customers. You don't believe me? Listen, just take any regular Bible and change the hard copy of it. Put your name on the hard copy. You will make so much money. If you're a Christian, you better be making money out of your stuff. You better be. Now, I can get that religious people think that, oh, we don't believe. You can even call us irrational. But we're not stupid enough to not see what's happening. You didn't get your Bible for free. And even if you got it for free, somebody somewhere paid for it. It costs money to make Bibles. It definitely costs money to sell them. Who do you think is making profit? The most popular book? Hell yeah. The buying and selling of false hope. That's how I call it. That's what religion is. Religion is just the buying and selling of false hope. Buying and selling of false hope. It's a scam. It's a scam. You should not feel compelled. It's a scam. I'm sorry, but it's a scam, y'all. You have been scammed because you could totally live your life just all right without any of that. Without much ado, brother, thank you for your time, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of my show tonight. Thank you to everybody that came here. Remember, we're not enemies. If you want to believe what you want. But we are also entitled to our opinions. You say God exists, I say God doesn't. The burden of proof is on you. And if you can't bring your God here, then your God is only going to be real in your head. Okay? And we don't have a problem with your God existing in your head. You can have anything you want in your head. You can have Santa Claus. Shit, you can have Donald Trump. You can have anybody you want to have in your head. But in the real world, there is no God. And if you don't like that, the only thing that's left for you to do is to cry about it. Yeah, you can cry. Crying is very therapeutic. But no amount of yelling, no amount of praying, no amount of reading the Bible will make your God real. The only thing that proves is that you believe. That's the only thing it proves, that you believe. And half of you can't even prove that you believe. You just say you believe. You don't really believe. You don't even believe. You don't even know that you don't really believe. You don't even know that you don't really believe. You think you believe because you go to church every Sunday? You think you believe because you pray? You think you believe because you read the Bible? That doesn't prove that you believe. None of those things that you do prove that you believe, because somebody can do all those things without believing. Listen to me. Reading your Bible, going to church, attending church meetings, I can totally do all those things without believing. So doing those things by themselves is not proof that you believe. So I'm going to ask you again. How do you know that you believe? How do you know that you really believe? I'm sorry, guys. I can't take any more guests. I got to go to work. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed night, y'all. Thank you to all the people that hit the like button. Thank you to everyone that sent me gifts. I do not deserve it, but I'm grateful. Take care of yourselves, y'all. And don't make anybody your enemy just because you guys don't believe in the same thing. Have a blessed night, okay? And if you don't like me, cry about it. Cry. Don't spend time thinking about me when I don't even know that you exist. You're wasting your time. The worst thing you can do is to not like a guy on the internet who doesn't even know that you exist. You don't spend energy liking people who don't know you exist. Like some of you hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't even know you exist. You're just causing yourself unnecessary pain. If you like me, don't believe me. Do your own research. Study for yourself. Don't believe anything I say. If I say something, all you have to do is listen and understand. Don't believe me. Don't believe anybody. Okay? If I tell you what you can know, investigate. Once you know, you know. If I say something and you investigate, you don't find it, then it's just something I said. Nothing more. You are not compelled to believe nobody. The facts always speak for themselves. You understand that? If you do, have a good night, y'all. Bakanga is out.